What's up, tricksters and tricksetas, and welcome to another tier 3 sub VOD review presented by your favorite reading coach, Charlatano Papito. Today we have an Omen main playing on Haven in an Ascendant 2 lobby. His name is Harshil, and let's see what Harshil has to say to us. Hello, this will be my first VOD review. Looking forward to any advice and feedback. That's why we're here. I have been playing Valorant on and off since it came out. I used to just play for fun until episode 7, as you should, to be honest. I started wanting to improve when I got a PC. Used to play on a laptop before, around episode 7, act 2. Okay. Episode 8 was me trying to learn flash initiators, and I realized that I don't get that much agency over the outcome of the game, so I decided to go back to smokes. I mean, like, you know, it really depends which initiators you're maining, because, you know, for example, Gecko is mega versatile and really good from Iron 1 to Immortal 3, and really good for improvement as well. Then Breach is also not bad for some maps and some lobbies, but if you were playing like Sova, Sky, or somebody like that, God help us. Now, when it comes to controllers, like, generally speaking, controller role is literally one of the most important roles in ranked solo queue. Like, good and bad smoke can easily decide whether or not you win a round, whether or not you win a match, or, you know, what's gonna happen in a specific game. So, like, yeah, you know, playing controllers is generally better, especially if you're playing Omen. Like, it is so, you're a duelist, initiator, controller, sentinel, whatever you need to be for your team. I play mostly smokes on all maps, but Sova on icebooks. Viper is not fun, and trying Euro on Abyss. Listen, man, like, if you're below Immortal 3, Omen is still mega good on icebooks. Really fucking good. I have fully covered Omen on icebooks in my ranked playbook on my Discord server, right here at the Asian Guides. Apply those tips, apply these rules, setups and smokes. It doesn't matter. Literally it doesn't, especially now when the Viper is nerfed. Viper is only viable maybe in high elo lobbies, and of course on Breeze you need to play a stupid Viper as a main controller. Yoru on Abyss is really good as well. Like, Yoru is mega powerful on Abyss, like with the fast rotations, with so many different outplays and stuff that you can do. So yeah, why not? I'm open learning new agents. I have started to use other weapons more recently after seeing your videos. I mean, like, yeah, you know, weapon versatility is very important in Valorant. Like, you know, you want to master every weapon for every situation, for every map. Like, you should not only be using, like, Vandal and Phantom 24/7. In this VOD, I got a little tilted towards the end, and not in voice chat, but talking to myself. Happens to everyone. Like, what is very important is, like, that the tilt and rage should never impact your performance. Like, I tilt 24/7, you know, like, I rage a lot as well. But rage and tilt never impact how I actually play the game. Like, I'm always playing the game in the same way, no matter what type of a face I have. Even if I have a depressed face, even if I have this face, that face, like, it doesn't fucking matter. But I'm gonna express my emotions, but never, like, in voice chat. Like, you know, it's stupid being toxic towards your teammates in the voice chat, because it doesn't matter. Like, you know, you're not contributing in any way towards winning a specific match or a specific round. I have the following queries that I would like to get your advice on. Okay, some real questions. I feel like I worry about the macro a lot more than I should. I generally worry a lot if there is a hole in the map, and then tunnel vision trying to fix that or be hyper aware of it. On defense, I also try to fill the holes instead of playing where I think enemies would go. What is a good balance to have in this case? So first of all, macro is really important, and you should do macro management of your teammates, essentially, like, or at least try to do it. You know, tell them where to go, what they should do, and even if they don't listen to you, at least you tried, you know. But when it comes to playing Valorant ranked solo queue, you need to realize that you're playing, like, you should play every single ranked match and start every single ranked match with this mentality. I'm playing with 4 AIs against 5 AIs. I don't know which AI is better, you know, which AI is from SpaceX and which AI is from, I don't know, like some underground tunnel like in France. So like, you know, behave towards your teammates like they're complete bots, always, at the start of the match. Like, you don't know with who the fuck you're playing, essentially. And in the first 4 rounds of every single match on both attackers and defender side, you should always trust only yourself when it comes to closing out the rounds and winning them. There's no filling the holes. There's no, like, trusting your teammates to do the most optimal and a good play. You're the one that should be in the control of your rounds. So if you're playing on a defender side, for an example, we have a very strict rules that we should follow on every single map where we position ourselves in the first 4 rounds on a defender side. After the 4th round, moving into the 5th round, that's where you're asking yourself, can I trust my teammates? And can I actually fill in the holes? I mean, in the first 4 rounds, if you notice that your teammates are good, or they're better than you, okay, then you should fill in the holes and, you know, just basically like whatever gap your teammates leave in your team, you should fill it. But in the first 4 rounds, if you notice that your teammates are actually mentally disabled, and they actually like are the artificial intelligence, unintelligence in Valorant, then, you know, there's no filling in the holes. Like if you're playing, let's say, for example, which map are we playing today? Today we're doing a Haven. So let's say, for example, you think there's 80% of chances that in the next round enemies are gonna go A. 80%. Based on the enemy's pattern of pushing, what enemies did, stuff like that. You have 3 teammates playing on the A side. But you think that these 3 teammates are gonna lose A side if you don't play with them. Gamble. Stack the A. Play with 4 teammates. You know, go there. Stack the A side. 1 teammate should cover, you know, like basically B side 10. Get edge and leave the C open. If you need to gamble, do the gambling. Anyways, number 1, Valorant is the gambling game of numbers. Like you will have to do enormous amount of gambles based on certain factors, numbers, and what type of teammates and enemies you get in order to have the absolutely highest chances of winning these rounds. Number 2, Valorant is like playing chess. You know, we are trading the pieces. And you always need to ask yourself, if I position myself somewhere, and even if I get the kill, is it actually worth it? Is there a high chance that my teammates on the opposite part of the map are gonna die, and now the round is gonna become unwinnable, for an example? Number 3, Valorant is the game of adaptiveness and scenarios. Like, there's like 4,000 scenarios that are gonna happen for you in Valorant 24/7, and you want to learn how to play all of these scenarios to perfection. Essentially, they're gonna repeat 24/7 throughout your gameplay, and you know, you should self-reflect, observe how you lose the rounds, how you lose the matches, how you lose the gunfights, and try to learn from your mistakes. So based on all of this, like, you know, yes, there are some games where you should fill in the holes and, you know, basically like do whatever your teammates want you to do. But every single match, you should start with this mindset, that your teammates are bad until they prove you wrong. And after the 4th round, you're asking yourself, are my teammates actually good or bad? And that's it. So that is a good balance. Like first 4 rounds on both attack and defense, you don't trust anyone. And then the rest of the rounds, hey, maybe, I don't know. Really, I don't know, like, with who you're gonna play in a specific match. That's why adaptiveness towards your allies is also very important in Valorant. I feel my mechanics are lagging behind. I have started to work on my movement in death matches recently. Okay. I feel that I'm either Feast or Famin, and Charlatan from Uganda. If I'm locked in, I can farm, otherwise I just int. Having mechanical inconsistency is absolutely normal for 99% of Valorant players. Like 99% of Valorant players are never going to achieve godlike mechanical consistency where every single day you tap the heads and every single day you're better than others. It's impossible, essentially. Like what you're striving to do when it comes to your mechanical skill in Valorant, you want to reach the absolutely best version of yourself, mechanical version of yourself. Like you want to breach all of your own mechanical skill ceiling. And where is your skill ceiling when it comes to aim depends depends from one example to another. Like essentially, we're all different. Not everyone can be, tens. Not everyone can be like, Scream, obviously. But, that's why your mechanics can be compensated with other skill sets in Valorant. Like in Valorant, how you position yourself, how you take the fights, which fights you take, how much you're focused, how much you're willing to win a match, how much you're communicating, what type of mentality you have, what type of strategies you're performing, what type of utility usage you have. All of these skill sets are at least 10 times more important than aim for 99% of Valorant players. Because these 99% of Valorant players will not be able, ever, to contest the top 1% when it comes to mechanical skill. Just impossible. That's why every single day you should be developing your game knowledge, decision making, team play, communication, positioning, mentality, everything else should be 100% consistent and should be polished to the maximum degrees. Like it doesn't matter if you're a monkey. Literally, like if you have like 60, 50 IQ, like everything else for you in this game can be on really, really high levels. I'm so sorry, like I don't know what happened right now. Like I feel weird. I'm gonna get a heart stroke. So yeah, but of course, like considering that you're currently Ascendant 2, there is probably something better that you can do in terms of your mechanical skill, like some kind of a good warm-up routine, good general aim training routine. Like we'll see. I really hate speaking about mechanical skill during the VOD reviews and also like talking about that in my videos and my VOD reviews. Essentially, like when it comes to mechanics, when I do these VOD reviews, like I just watch the VOD one more time after I finish it on stream, and then like I just recommend the player some of pre-made aim training routine that's gonna fix 80% of his mechanical problems in the long run, and that's it. Maybe you're not gonna be Scream, but as long as you're able to reach, I really think that anyone can be on my mechanical level. Like, brother, I'm the bikini bottom of Radiant when it comes to aim, and I'm consistently able to get Radiant at least 2, 3, or 4 times during a year. I mean, anyways, I don't have more time for that. But you get the point. Like, I mean, we'll see what you can do there. Don't overthink it too much. I also tend to anchor my sights a lot. What is a good balance for anchoring versus fast rotations? I have also noticed that generally I don't give up sights enough and try to anchor sights to get my 1.5 to 2 kills. Listen, there's a lot of general rules that you should follow when it comes to rotations on a defender's side, but a lot. First of all, in the first round on the defender side, no matter which map you're playing, you should always do fast rotations. When enemies are eco and halbye, on the attacker side, you should always do fast rotations and prioritize refray game. When you have true numbers advantage on a defender side, you don't give a shit about map control, and you should sell more map control and just focus on playing with your allies. Then, when you're playing fast rotation maps, right now the only 2 fast rotation maps are Sunset and Icebooks, Sunset and Ascent. On these maps, you don't give a crap. You're never willing to die for B-side and A-side defense. Your main focus is like refray game, team play, preserving the numbers, and that's it. Also, after 3-4 rounds, no matter which map you're playing, no matter what is the economy, we need to ask ourselves, like, how good are our teammates? I mean, if your teammates are bad, then you will have to do much faster rotations. Then, like, you need to ask yourself, how are the enemies playing? You know? Like, if enemies have consistently someone that is lurking and flanking, you know, let's say they have a Cypher that always goes through the B main area of the map on Haven, you need to ask yourself 2 questions. Question number 1. Actually, only 1 question. Can I actually deal with this Cypher? Now, what does that mean? That means, like, if I commit towards, like, hunting for this Cypher and trying to kill him, is that worth it? During that period of time, are my teammates on the opposite part of the map gonna die? If the answer is yes, then fuck it. Just play with your teammates and always be aware that this Cypher can come behind us and be ready for it. Like, observe the timings, essentially. So, this once again depends on a lot of scenarios, but all of these questions that you asked me right now will be answered in a few coaching videos that I'm gonna share with you after we finish this VOD review. I have noticed that I tend to struggle on attack a lot, as you will see in this VOD. I mean, that's very vague, you know, like, you can struggle on attack for so many reasons. Generally speaking, in ranked solo queue, I mean, most of your matches and rounds, you win on defender side. Like, if you don't have a good performance on defense, good luck on playing on attack. So, like, but still, you know, on the attacker side, you should have at least, like, 49 to 50% round win rate. And how you lead your teammates on a macro level is also very important. Like, I never coach the players to be IGLs. That's stupid, boring, diminishing returns. You know, your teammates are most of the times not gonna listen to you, like 50% of the times. But still, like, you should try to give them some simplified macro callouts. Like, if enemies are, like, you're playing Haven for an example. Enemies on defender side are eco and hull buy. What do? We avoid this area of the map. We either do a 5-man push on C or 5-man push on A through A long, and then we clear the A short through from the A side. So, and if your team has listened to you, great. If they don't listen to you, try to adapt to them and try to see what we could, you know, how we can fix their mistakes. And on attacker side, like, it is mega important. Like, map awareness is really important, pathing is really important, utility usage, adaptiveness, all of that shit is 10 times more important than on defense. So only God knows why you're losing on the attacker side, but you know, I mean, we're gonna see in this VOD review, thankfully. Okay, now when it comes to our friend's tracker, okay. To be honest, solid playtime. Really solid playtime here. I mean, like, he did invest, like, 1,400 hours in Valorant, and he got Ascendant too. That's, like, average, to be honest. Like, that's, like, absolute average. Like, so you're not really above or below anyone. Like, it's okay. Not that bad, to be fair. Consistency is actually okay. Like, consistency in his playtime is one of the highest I've seen in general. Like, every act he's putting in quite a lot of hours, and with this playtime, right now you should have been like, I mean, he reached Platinum 2 in Episode 1, Act 3. With this playtime, you should have already been minimum Immortal 3, to be fair. This is really nice. This is really nice. But, I mean, you know, never compare yourself to other players. Like, your improvement rate is your own. We all improve at a different pacing. Like, you know, not everyone can be fucking intense, you know. So chill. Okay. To be fair, like, solid playtime. I like it. Improvement, I think, could have been better. Like, I really think already you could have reached, like, Immortal 3 without any problems. Especially because during some acts you had a really solid win rates. So other than that, I really have nothing to shit about here. Let's see the last act, because last act he played a lot of games. So first of all, majority of your statistics, majority of your stats are in the range of like average or on a verge of being bad. You know, for example, ADR is suboptimal. It's not the best, but it's good. You know, 137 is more than enough to be a useful ally and to take the kills and to, you know, deal the damage, essentially. KD is on a verge of being bad. You know, 1 is already like a bottom line. Essentially, like, KD is not that important, but, you know, when you combine the KD with this KST here, you're dying way too many times. Alone. Without any refrag potential, without your teammates, like, you're maybe picking bad fights, bad gunfights, maybe you're fighting for no reason as well. So, like, based on these stats, you know, we can tell that in every single match, you're dying at least 2 times, or maybe even 3, for no reason. Or in a fight that you can maybe win. So 3 fights you fight in a bad way. Now, what is a bad way? I don't know, man. Like, maybe we pick the enemies bad, maybe we choose a wrong fight, maybe we choose a fight that we don't need to fight. You get the point. You get the point. Because KST is also, like, you know, average. It's not the best, it's not good, it's like, okay, it is there, but it can be much better for this elo. Now, your mechanical stats, I mean, they look good, but the headshot percentage usually doesn't tell us that much. Like, I mean, you can have like a 40% headshot percentage and still be mechanically bad player. Because sometimes you don't want to go for a headshot, you know, like, if you're only going for the headshots, you're gonna miss a lot of the kills as well. Like, whether or not you go for a body shot or headshot depends on the weapon that you're using, how low is an enemy, stuff like that. But this is optimal, of course. Like, this is really good. Now, when it comes to your clutch percentage, it is abysmal. Like, 1.7% with this many games played is really bad. Like, you're something doing wrong, fundamentally, in a 1v1 and 1v2 scenarios. And we need to figure out what we can do better. If I was you, I would really focus on, you know, in the future, fixing these type of scenarios for myself. Like, we can do something better 100%. Now, when it comes to everything else, it's okay. The amount of last deaths is also below average. Like, in this elo, same as in every elo that is like low elo and medium elo, like, you need to value your life a bit more. Like, if you're not alive to win a round, to close out the round, you're just praying to God that your teammates are gonna do that again instead of you. Like, a good ratio between like matches that you play and the last deaths is like 4-1 for low elo and medium elo. So, like, you know, in 203 matches you should have at least like 700 or 800 last deaths. That doesn't mean that you should bait the shit out of your teammates for no reason and avoid every single fight. That simply means that if you're 2 versus 1 and both of you guys are full HP, let your teammate take the first fight, be behind him and refrag him, essentially. Do the smart baiting, smart trading, fight only the fights that you need to fight. Like, you're not paid, especially if you're serious about your grind. Like, you're not paid to take 5 kills every single round. Like, you know, that is mentally and physically taxing. You're paid essentially to make a numbers advantage. I mean, you're not paid at all. Like, you're always selling a bit of your mental health when you're playing Valorant, but your job is just to make a numbers advantage, do only the most necessary shit that you need to do in order to win a specific round or a match, and that's it, essentially. Now, let's see if what he said was true. Yeah. I mean, on both attack and defense, you performed quite well last act. You have a bit higher KD and KST on attack, which is good. But a bit, I mean, I don't know, based on these stats, like, both attack and defense for you are, like, okay. They're not super good, obviously. Like, in terms of your performance and how you play these rounds. But, for example, on defense, like, based on these stats here, like, it seems like you're dying a lot of the times alone. You know, you need to gamble a bit more. You need to value your life a bit more. Like, sometimes you simply cannot stop the 5-man enemy push. And if you can stop the 5-man enemy push, just, like, fuck it. Like, play a retake, essentially. Try to maybe get a 1 kill and get the fuck out, baby. And on the attack, I don't know. We're gonna see, like, what you can do a bit better. When it comes to the agents, Omen, Sova, Clove, Yoru, Viper. I don't know, man. Like, Omen, great. You know, like, in the current map pool, you can play Omen on every single map, up to Immortal 3. It's totally fine. Sova as a secondary pick on Icebox. Fuck that shit, man. Play Omen on Icebox. And if you already want to pick somebody else on Icebox, like, play, like, Chamber, play Jet, play, like, try out the Gecko, maybe, like, up to Immortal 3. Like, fuck the Sova, man, literally. Like, you know, your solo carry potential is gonna be really low. Then, like, I don't know if you ever tried, like, playing Duelists ever. Because based on your mechanics and I mean, based on the statistics, you might be a solid Duelist player as well. But I don't know, when did you play these agents? Overall, you know, we're gonna take a look at your gameplay. And we will see, like, if there's any other characters I can actually recommend you. Omen, definitely. Omen suits you okay. Suits you well. Based on your stats and everything. Just Sova, like, in this elo. Yeah. Like, just pick up the, I don't know, Chamber, Jet, Gecko, somebody better, man. I don't know. I mean, you're mainly the Omen main, so literally, like, you can play Omen on every single map that is in the current pool, all the way up to Immortal 3. Abyss, highest win rate map, Lotus, Sunset, like, the only thing that is unacceptable here is your solo performance on Bind. Come on, man. Ranked playbook on my Discord server, Omen on Bind, apply the strategies and tactics. Like, it is impossible that on Bind, with Omen, you have, like, a negative KD. Literally impossible. All other maps, I mean, it's okay, you know, from act to act, you're gonna have a poor performance, like, you know, like, maybe it depends what type of teammates you get. Like, you know, some matches are just unwinnable and it's fine. But on Bind, definitely it can be much, much better. Like, this is really, really poor performance on that map overall. You did try a bit of Gecko. I don't know why that is a problem. Like, I really don't know, like, which agent to recommend you based on everything that you've said, because anything can work for you. You know, like, when you main Omen, every other agent is like a piece of cake. Like, you master Omen, you mastered Valorant, essentially. Like, you can play. Maybe Cypher is gonna be good for you. Maybe, like, Gecko, Jet, Chamber, Yoru, Raze. Try things out. And you need to test it a bit more. But we'll see. We'll see in your gameplay, like, if there's anything that sticks out. Anywhere where you're exceptionally good. And this loadout is unacceptable. Simply said, unacceptable. If you're serious about your grind and you want to reach Immortal 3 and Radiant as soon as possible, pistol rounds should be as good as your full buy rounds. What the fuck is going on in the pistol rounds? Like, this needs to be improved. Like, if you want to reach Radiant and Immortal 3, in pistol rounds, 300% focus, leading your teammates, never trusting them, map knowledge, abusing the cheesy strategies to get the kills, get the fuck in, fuck up the enemies. Like, what is going on, man? This should be your primary focus to fix on every single map. Secondary focus, fixing the eco rounds. With Omen, you should have minimum 1.0 KD right here. Absolute minimum. Shorty, Throughout the steps, paranoia, pop, pop, poop, poop. Enemy dead. Pick up his gun, maybe win a round. Trade yourself for the kills. Go for a kamikaze place, you know, Japanese 1944 movie, brother. I don't know. And semi-rounds are like, okay, decent enough, like, it's not that bad, like, it's average. And in full buy rounds, you actually play the game, which is kind of sad, to be honest. So considering you're playing Omen. Now, without any doubt, like, yes, your weapon variety in this previous act was absolute dog shit. Operator doesn't exist. Outlaw doesn't exist. Odin doesn't exist. Judge doesn't exist. Shorty doesn't exist. Stinger doesn't exist. Like, why you're playing Omen then? Play Reyna if you want to play Vandal, Phantom, and Sheriff 24/7. It is absolutely stupid. Like, okay, the biggest piece of advice that I would give to any player that is playing Valorant. Actually, 3 advices. So these are the 3 main advices that I would give to any player that wants to reach Radiant in Valorant. Advice number 1. You want to simplify your gameplay and your callouts as much as you can. Complicated gameplay doesn't equal smart gameplay. Like, when you complicate stuff and essentially, like, only rely on too much in solo queue, where you rely only on one skill set, or you're overwhelming your teammates and stuff like that. That doesn't mean that you're playing Valorant smart. Tip number 2. Follow the pillars of Valorant. Understand that the Valorant is the gambling game of numbers. Nothing is set in stone. You need to understand statistical data is very important in Valorant. Like, understanding how players behave. You know, psychology overall. Like, how enemies are gonna behave if I make this move. For an example, use your fucking brain. Then another pillar of Valorant, which is like, you know, you want to be an adaptive player. Like, no matter in what type of scenario I throw you in, you should be able to adapt to that scenario and play to perfection. Where basically like, the last thing that should impact the outcome of that round is your raw mechanical skill. But everything else should be mega good. And the third pillar is essentially like understanding that the Valorant is the game of numbers. You know, like, where you want to consistently adapt your playstyle based on who you play with, what are the numbers in the game, like, do we have numbers advantage, disadvantage, what is the economy, which map we play, stuff like that. And the third piece of advice that I would give to any player in Valorant is focus on versatility. Being a versatile player is very important. So you cannot only stick to one playstyle. You can do that, but generally it's bad. You want to always diversify yourself. Like, always ask yourself, how can I win my games, rounds, matches in the easiest way possible? How can I counter the enemies in the easiest way possible? And you don't want to only be like a scream. You know, you shoot the heads and, like, that's it. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't work. That's bad. Be, like, versatile. You know, in the games where you can just shoot the heads, okay, pick up the Vandal and bop, 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 bop. Kill the enemies and win the matches. In the games where that doesn't work, pick up the Judge on Bind. Shit on the enemies with the Judge. Pick up the Operator to counter the enemies that have poor utility usage on the attacker side. Pick up the Outlaw on a defender side when you see that enemies have low economy. They cannot afford the heavy shields. Pick up the Stinger because it's a much better choice on most of the maps instead of the fucking Spectre and some of the other weapons. Pick up the Odin when you don't have any other way to counter the enemies on the paper maps. Haven, Lotus, Ascent, for an example. Be versatile. Shorty, primary, secondary weapon. You can easily trade yourself for the kills in a lot of different scenarios. So, like, what you're doing here is just a really hard grind. You know, like, you're only useful in full buy rounds, and if you don't have a Vandal or Phantom, based on these statistics, you're just shit with everything else. You know, with a classic pistol, you have 40 ADR in 203 matches. 90 ADR with a Ghost. 53. Like, what's going on here, man? Operator doesn't exist. But I'm playing Omen, I'm playing a controller. So what? You're playing in Ascendant 2, 3, Immortal 1, like... These guys are autopiloting 24/7. You're playing a movement character that can quickly reposition, take elevated positions, fuck up the enemies like with an op. Come on, man, like... Criminal. This is a criminal loadout for an Omen main. But maybe our friend is the best Omen player ever, so we're gonna see that right now. So we have like Ascendant 2, Omen main on Haven. Let's see what he has to show to us. Or she. I don't know. Okay, now let's see what our friend Harshly is actually doing on Haven. But before we start with this Haven VOD review, we need to talk about Haven a bit. You know, general rules on the map and what you should actually do. So, first of all, your default bomb site and #1 priority on Haven on a defender side is A site. #2 priority C site. #3 priority B site. Essentially, if you have no idea where the hell enemies are gonna go, you know, if you don't know how to position yourself, usually the best idea is to position yourself on the A site. In the first round, you should always play on A, because A site is much harder for the retake than C site and B site. Now, generally speaking, very rarely, almost never, you should start on the B site, unless it is part of some kind of a strategy to counter the enemies. Like, I don't know, your teammates want to push mid, okay, we can start on B or garage and, you know, help them out. Or you notice that enemies are way too repetitive, they're abusing your anal cavity on B site, okay, start on the B site, abuse some of these off angles and punish the enemies. Enemies are picking the window 24/7, okay, pick up the operator, fuck one idiot here, and that's it. Most of the times, like, you should be switching between A site and C site on a defender side, and occasionally you should start your rounds around garage and A link. You know, when you're not absolutely certain where the enemies are gonna go. Like, you cannot fully read the enemies, but you think enemies are gonna go either A or B, you can start around the A link or on the B site and just play a fast rotation towards the A site. You think enemies are gonna go C, garage, or B, start your round in the garage and simply do faster rotations towards C and towards the B side. Anyways, on this map, whenever enemies are playing some kind of an eco, halbye, or a bonus round on the attacker side, where you should always start your rounds is around the garage. Because 80% of times, enemies will try to initially do something on C, garage, or B. Very rarely you will see that enemies that are eco, halberd, or bonus are just gonna do a fast 5-man push on A side. Almost never. Now, in the first round, we always play on A side of Haven, and with Omen, like, there's no doubts, you should be doing the classic pistol shorty strategy. So essentially, like, you just buy a classic shorty, and you can buy the light shield with 1 shrouded step, or you can buy 2 smokes, paranoia, and 1 shrouded step. You need to jiggle your weapons, jiggle, jiggle, wiggle, jiggle, jiggle, like this. Classic needs to be in this position. So once we fire 2 shots of a shorty, we can instantly switch to the classic pistol. When should you buy the paranoia without the shield? If you're playing in high elo lobbies. If you're playing in low and medium elo lobbies, fuck the paranoia, fuck 2 smokes, fuck 2 shrouded steps, like, buy the light shield. Period. Now, I've fully explained how you should play this strategy in my ranked playbook, but essentially, you know, if enemies are not droning you, they're not using any recon utility, you know, you can just chill here, wait for the enemies, bop, kill them, support your teammates with a smoke. On A shorty, that's it. When you're playing this strategy, you never want to do this smoke, you want the enemies to push. You don't want to cut off the enemy's balls and essentially, like, make them rotate back. The only times when you should be doing some kind of a smoke like this is if enemies are using some kind of a recon ability to scout you in the A short area of the map, and you don't have a support from your teammates in A short. Like, none of your teammates are, you know, there to destroy the drone, to destroy the dog, etc, etc. With this smoke, we can easily dodge the enemy's, you know, recon utility. We can hide in this corner. When the drone passes us, we can just move in, bop bop, kill the enemies. Make this corner as tight as possible, and make sure that you're fully hidden. And that's it. This is perfect, essentially. And just look at the minimap, you know. When you're placing this smoke, just make sure that you have enough room right here to hide your big ass, you know, to hide in that spot. And essentially that's it. Or, you know, like, you can just approximately place it, like, you know, look at that left part here and then connect that wall. You get the point. Fuck it. Now, there's absolutely nothing else that I would do for the first round on a defender side of Haven if I'm below Radiant, or if I'm below Immortal 3, 400 rank rating. Let's see what our friend Harshly is gonna do. This buy option doesn't exist if we're already buying Shorty with a classic pistol. Buy without the light shield. Buy the Paranoia. Buy 1 Shrouded Step, Paranoia, and 2 smokes. Don't buy 2 Shrouded Steps, I mean, you know. If you already have money for a Paranoia, buy it.
Take the dog. I'll go in on with the shorty.
Okay. Aye. Okay, not bad. Listen, but when you're jiggling these weapons, like, it cannot be this slow. You know, it really needs to be smooth as fuck. Like, you need to be doing this. Essentially, have some kind of a delay between the jiggles, because the shorty is already falling, you know, downstairs. Like, with only 2 jiggles, to be honest, you can do this. 3. You just need 3. 1, 2, 3. And make sure that the classic pistol is here. Because if the classic is here, I mean, if I see it from this position, I'm like, you know, what is this? You know? Why is the classic there? And I'm gonna pre-assume that you're somewhere close with something.
One wing garage.
Good. But while our friend was doing this, he should have, like, started rotating already.
Smoke front C.
And on Haven, like, you know, always try to count the enemies if you don't have any Sentinels utility for either the garage or B site. Like, always be aware, if you don't see all 5 enemies on the map, that one idiot might be lurking through the garage or through the B site. So especially if you're rotating through this area of the map, make sure that your crosshair is always placed for your anal cavity, and that you're clearing every single angle one at a time.
Omen out garage, careful.
We need a gun out. This Shrouded Step was mega wasted. I mean, what's the point? We don't know if enemies are mid. Enemies can already be on the B side. Literally, one enemy can already be here. What's the point? I mean, plus it is an unnecessary risk. Like, we are 5 versus 3, and you want to overexpose yourself to mid and take a fight on man. Fuck this shit, bro. Like, in the first round, make a numbers advantage, bait the shit out of your teammates, play a proper refray game, and that's it. Well, why are you risking it? Now, just sell the map control to the enemies. We don't need B side, we don't need A side. All we need right now is to connect with our teammates ASAP and to play with them on a refray potential. Simplify your gameplay. No need to complicate it. Go, get it. Yo, one guy can be mid. Oh, like, I mean, whenever you're rotating through B side, like, you need to do this. Like, you know, you just need to check these angles, then check this position, and now you go.
One back.
Yo. Take my ghost, I'm one.
60,
Fight with the jet. Fight with the jet. We know that one guy is in garage.
Back to grass.
Fight with the jet. Play with your most aggressive teammate. Always play with your most aggressive teammate that has the highest chances of dying. Cypher is safe. You know, he is rotating through CT and let him play alone. In a 3v2 scenario, your job is to pinpoint who is the first ally that has the highest chance of dying and play with that motherfucker. Especially if one of your teammates is low HP. Bait him. You know? Jet is anyways gonna die. Hack 2. You know? One hack 2, the jet is dead. Play with the jet.
NB. Vault. Stage in.
Gun out. Gun out. Okay. 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 I still would have played with my jet instead of doing this solo bullshit. This type of solo bullshits are gonna lose you the matches. You know, the Sky there could have killed you. You know. That was a complete 50-50 fight. If Sky had a slightly better crosshair placement, you're dead. Then your jet is 1 HP. And your teammates are 2 versus 2. And you don't know who's gonna win a round. Play smart, not hard. Let's move on to the next round. Now on Haven, whenever, literally whenever, enemies are like eco hull by bonus, forced by like starter rounds around the garage or on the B site. Chances are much higher that enemies will try to do something in this area of the map. Second round of Haven, you always play around the garage. Like if you lose it, you know, classic shorty. You know, play a classic shorty strategy here with one smoke and shroud a step. If enemies are pushing close, we can do this type of a smoke and then play around it. Enemy Sova is droning, we can peek out, kill the Sova. Maybe we survive, maybe we don't survive. Who the fuck cares? Our job is anyways to trade ourselves in these rounds for as many kills as possible. Or we can dodge the enemies. Recon utility, you know, go in and out, kill one enemy, take his gun, TP the fuck away, make a numbers advantage. If you win the first round, outlaw heavy shield, outlaw light shield utility, holding the garage passively. We can also buy a stinger with a heavy shield shorty and utility, play here and guard the garage. We can buy a bulldog, you know, and guard the garage a bit more passive. We can play some kind of an off angle like this for an example. You can also buy the Ares, to be honest, because, you know, this is also one of these paper maps where you can spam the enemies through a lot of walls, and now the Ares got buffed a bit, so it's not that bad of a pick, but I would never buy it personally. But, you know, if you're playing in a low elo, maybe you can buy it, whatever. But ultimately, no. Either Bulldog, Outlaw, Judge, Stinger is what you should do, and you should play in the garage. This buy option doesn't exist. Playing in a second round with a Bulldog and Light Shield. Never. Never. If you're buying a Bulldog in a second round, you buy a Bulldog, you buy a Heavy Shield, and the rest of the money goes into your most important utility. Maybe one smoke and one shroud step. This round, anti-eco round. You're not winning based on utility. You're winning it based on your gun advantage. You don't want to die from the one tap of Sheriff on this distance. Why would you risk that? You know? Who has more HP and better guns in this round should win this round. If we play a proper refrag game and if we actually position ourselves properly.
One out, close, careful.
Personally, like, I would not be like, you know, I would not actually be peeking this wide and this risky in this round. Why? You know? Like, you don't need to risk your life. You should have just jiggle pick this angle, hold the aim in a bit, or connect with your jet and deal with the enemy neon together with your jet. Like in anti-eco rounds, like whenever enemies are eco hull by bonus on a defender side, fuck the map control. Fuck everything. Make sure that you're playing on the position which players usually like to push in this round based on their economy, and make sure that you're playing a proper refray game with your allies. Play with the teammates that have the highest chances of dying, and that's it. And you see why I would have played in the get it like 80% of times, literally 80% of times, whenever enemies are eco halbay or bonus in ranked solo queue on the attacker side, they're gonna do something here. 80% of times. It doesn't make any sense to play A set in this round. And even if enemies finish on A, it's okay. It's a gamble anyways, like, but a smart gamble.
Neon just ran back. Oh, NB.
Could be going to garage.
I'm blind. Yep.
Listen, this paranoia that he did here is sometimes okay. You know, like, basically, like, when is it okay to paranoid to flash your teammates? It is okay when you think that the result of the gunfight between your teammates and enemies is gonna be 0. Like, nobody dies. And it is okay to flash some of your teammates and enemies in the same time if you're gonna get a kill. Or some other teammate is gonna capitalize on that specific flash. But here, flashing your jet was like, you know, a bit unnecessary. We have a gun advantage. We know that enemies are on the bomb site. Just fight together. You know, there was no reason to... It was way too risky to use this Paranoimus Rex. And whenever you're 2 versus 1, just make sure that you're not isolating 1 versus 1 gunfights, and that you're not overexposed from a lot of angles. In this type of a scenario, usually the best thing that you can do is play an area of the map where both of you guys can hold, you know, maximum 1 angle at a time, or maybe 2. What I mean by that, like here, you know, the best idea is to play A-Link. Jet is watching this, you're watching B-site, and that's it. Or, you know, let's play backside. Jet is watching this, you're watching this, and we're playing a proper refray game. But okay. Now in this 3rd round, where you position yourself really depends on how the first 2 rounds went. If enemies are bonus, I would play around the B set and market. But in this 3rd round, since enemies are full buy, chances are 50-50 that they're gonna push either C or A. But usually in this 3rd round, if enemies are playing a full buy, I'm gonna play on A site in this elo. Because chances are much, much higher that enemies are gonna push A in this round. But Charlatan, I already have 3 teammates on A site. I don't give a fuck. Who knows what type of teammates you've got? Who knows? It's a 3rd round. In the first 4 rounds, you need to gamble a bit more. You don't care how your teammates position, how they tell you to position. Like, you position based on the rules, based on the statistical data in Valorant, and based on what makes more sense. You need to gamble a bit more. Then after 5th round, you can start filling in the positions and maybe, if your teammates are good enough to, you know, fill the spots that they're not playing at that moment of time. But in this round, playing B and get it, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, you know, statistically in this elo, enemies are gonna push you on A site most of the time.
Nice shot.
One more long.
And usually statistics don't lie. You know, like, basically, I just need to repeat myself one more time because I really need to engrave this in players' mentality. Valorant is the gambling game of numbers. Like, you're consistently evaluating the chances of something to happen and applying certain tips, rules, strategies, tactics, mentality that gives us the higher chances of winning the gunfights, rounds, and matches. So, that is Valorant. Gambling game of numbers. You're not gonna win every match. You're not gonna win every round. It's impossible. Like 40% of fights, rounds, and matches that you lose, it's a matter of luck. Now, when I say matter of luck, that's a very vague, you know, vague topic. Like, what do I consider luck? One random bullet kills you through the smoke. I mean, fuck it. Enemies randomly spam you through the wall, they kill you, and it's not your bad. Like, or, I don't know, like, your teammates are far worse than the enemies. Like, you cannot carry every match. You are far worse than the enemies. Get better. You know, like, next, you get fucking better. You know. But 60% of matches, rounds, gunfights that you lose, it is your fault. There is something better you could have done. And when we talk about Valorant statistics, if something works 60 to 80% of times, it is much better than doing a 50-50 gamble. It is much better than playing Valorant mindlessly. You know, like just randomly positioning yourself however the fuck you want, taking every single fight however the fuck you want, managing your economy however the fuck you want, playing the maps however the fuck you want, playing based on what type of teammates you got however the fuck you want. If you play like that, you can reach Radiant. But it's gonna take you years, hours and hours of brute forcing your way up to Radiant. And some players are gonna do it. You know, top 0.01%, like, not top, like 0.01% of players can get Radiant like that. Just brute forcing based on their talent, mechanical skill, and, you know, overall, like, game sense that they have for video games. But 99.9% of players, fucking impossible, like, literally. Like, so, if you want to play smart Valorant, this is how you play smart Valorant. In the first 4 rounds, I don't give a fuck what type of teammates I got, what my teammates tell me to do, and that's it. I'm gonna try to counter the enemies myself. I'm gonna position myself in a way to counter the enemies and to wherever I think enemies are gonna go next, and wherever I think we're gonna have the initial problem, and I'm gonna learn from these mistakes and develop myself as a player. But if I position myself in mid in this round, and my teammates die on A, I learned nothing. What the fuck? Just a moment. Uno momentos. Per favorimus. Sorry, guys. Business. Ah! Let's see how we're gonna lose this round.
Smoke.
137 sky.
By the way, this smoke that he did there is actually not bad. You know, that smoke might delay the enemies a bit. It's gonna give us more room to play around it. And usually, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. But the problem in this round with this smoke is the following. We still have medium long-range weapons. You know, we have a bulldog, for an example. And if enemies like already didn't push through this position, much better idea, if I have one teammate that is stuck at the backside, is to give that teammate a one-way smoke that is fully gonna prevent the enemies from getting onto the bomb site. This smoke here is maybe okay if you know, your teammate is stuck at the backside and he needs to isolate the duels and enemies are already here and we need to support him somehow, you know? But if enemies didn't cross this line, just always do the one way on top of the box. You see here, that one way would have been really good. And there's no, I mean, right now we would have known that enemies cannot cross into this position, you know? Even if the enemies cross there, we have a paranoia to push them back and kill, like, I don't know. This is a very situational smoke. Okay, that's just mechanics, to be honest. That's just raw mechanics.
35 jet shot.
I mean, the overall problem with this round is how he started the round. Like, it was obvious that enemies are gonna go A. Not obvious, just it was a smarter gamble. Period. Now, in this fourth round, only God knows where the enemies are gonna go. But, based on the previous enemy's pattern of pushing, what did we learn? Enemies are very easy to read. They are following the mentality of an average Valorant player. So, based on the rule of fear, based on the statistics on this map, based on the ABAB rule, we can say that enemies are probably gonna go either B, garage, or C in this round. Thus, playing on the B side is absolutely fine. We can do faster rotations towards garage and C. Good gamble. Let's see what's gonna happen.
I'm holding window.
Now listen, if you're holding window with a Vandal Phantom, I don't know, like Vandal, you know, from this position, use the ADS. I mean, anyways, you're not gonna stay here for the full fight. You're not gonna spray that enemy down. ADS, go for a one tap or burst fire and reposition fast with the knife. Then, from this position, we can support our jet again, and voila, that's it. Also, when you're holding the window, you can hold the window a bit tighter from this position as well, like all the way here, like this, which is even better. As tight as your reaction time allows you. Go for the one tap burst fire, reposition. One of the best ways to kill the enemies that are peeking the window is hiding here and then fucking the enemies up with your own peeker's advantage. Let them peek the window, and then after 2 or 3 seconds, delete that motherfucker.
1 grass, 2 grass.
Listen, man, like if you already hear the enemy's grass and nobody peeked you in the window, the crosshair cannot be here. You know, if enemies didn't peek you in the window in the first, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds of a round, you know, down. You look down. Captions? No, I don't need captions, bro. What the fuck is this shit, bro?
Omen hit 80. Smoke garage window.
Okay. Okay. Listen, like, if you're with Omen, inside of the enemy Omen smoke, and enemies are pinching your teammates to the garage, and you have a paranoia, go for the play. You know, here I would definitely, on the contact between Cypher, Astra, and the enemies in garage, just kill them. You know, get ready for a Paranoimus Rex, drop a paranoia, kill the enemies, and that's it. Try it.
At least one end.
Especially here, like, you know, we have a one-way smoke. You know, we have this one-way. We have two teammates on C, two of us is here. On the first contact between enemies and these guys, like Paranoimus Rex and Peek Out, don't even spam the enemies to the smoke. That's the worst thing you can do. Why? Because you're in the smoke. It is much easier for enemies to do this and find your head than for you to find the enemy's head in this large area of the map. This is stupid. This is something you should never do.
One is mid. Yo, B.
Okay. Oof, that shrouded L steps a bit risky. I mean, I don't know if that was worth it, to be honest, because there can be one more enemy on the site. You know, we also don't know if one enemy is maybe in this corner, right here. So I don't know. In a 4v3, I would just let them plant the spike. Fuck it. Check this portion of the site. Play with your Sova, with your Phoenix. Let them plant the spike. Smoke the choke point. Or smoke the spike. Kill them in the beam in, and that's it.
Nice. One more mid. Neon.
One was garage.
Careful, garage. Yeah, careful.
Spike here.
Okay.
Play.
Not too shabby. Anything was fine. Now let's take a look at the enemy's economy. Oh, 2 enemies. This is a bit weird, man. This is a bit of a problem. I mean, right now enemies are playing a full buy round. So, Charlatan, how do we read the enemies right now? Where the fuck are enemies gonna go? I got you. Chances are again 50-50 that enemies are gonna go A or C. They have a full buy round. Based on your teammates' positioning, your teammates are somewhat locking down the C site and B site. Jet is alone on A. A is our #1 priority on this map. So that is why, in this round, I would once again play on the A side. Now, another problem that we have in our team is where the fuck is our tripwire for garage? Or B side, at least. Like, when you have a sentinel in your team, one piece of that sentinel's utility should go for either garage or B side. And you need to micromanage your teammates. On a defender side, most of the times you just need to micromanage your sentinels. You know, tell them if their utility can be somewhat better to give you higher chances of winning your rounds. On the attacker side, usually it is sentinels and controllers. Like what type of smokes you have on the attack is really important. So here, we're telling the Cypher brother, please give us a trip on B or trip on garage. And what you are doing, you're playing A long and supporting your jet that's gonna die in 15 seconds from now. 1,
Can you hold my window?
2,
I just walked down.
3,
Can you buy
4,
sheriff, please?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
A lot
14.
here, at least 3.
Hey,
15,
we'll retake A.
6, never mind. Your jet actually played smart. And she didn't push in. But you know what type of a problem we have right now? We sold the A site for free. The hardest bomb site to be retaken on Haven. We sold it for nothing. And now our round is 10 times fucking harder. Yes, we're gonna play a 5v5 retake together. And we will have high chances of winning this round because of that. Because our Jet is not mentally disabled. But you didn't know that, number one. And number two, why would we sell so much map control to the enemies? And we knew enemies are gonna push B. Hey, I mean, we didn't know it, but if you play the game with this mindset that I'm teaching you, you should have known it. You know, you should have guessed it, essentially. And here, like, pushing the mid, you know, that's something I didn't talk about. Was this necessary? Not really. You know, the only times when you should actually aggress the enemies in mid on Haven is if your passive gameplay is really not working at all. In the first 4 to 5 rounds. Like in the first 4 to 5 rounds, you should always play a bit more passive and see how that works for you. Let's say 4 rounds. But if you're already winning the match with a passive playstyle and enemies don't know how to execute the bomb sites, there's no reason to fight for the mid control. And fighting for the mid control is worth it when you're playing some kind of an eco or halberd round. You know, one of my favorite plays I like to do with Omen is, let's say, buy a Stinger light shield. At the start of the round, drop the smoke like this, then drop the Paranoimus Rex like this or like this, and then teleport underneath the window. And then from this position, you know, kill that guy, or from this position, kill the enemies here. You can buy a shorty, judge, whatever the hell you want. There's a lot of mid plays that you can do, and I've explained them all in my ranked playbook on my Discord server.
A lot A, at least 3.
A. We'll retake A, yeah?
Yep, I'm just smoking side for you.
Cover going out.
We'll play off the Omen flash in the Cypher or Phoenix retake.
I'm flank.
Okay, okay.
I mean, here, you know, going for this flank is fine for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, both enemies in our team are full buy. So, okay, I mean, we can try doing it, and we never did it before. And reason number 2 why this is okay is because, I mean, your teammates cannot make a mistake. I mean, there's 4 of them here. They should be able to play a proper refrag game. And the reason number 3 is, like, enemies don't have a proper sentinel to watch for the flank. So as long as we clear the angles properly, and as long as we hit the right timing to go for the flank and lurk, it's okay. It's fine. But we need to chill here a bit and wait for our teammates to get the first contact. We need to let the enemies, you know, get a bit closer to the choke points.
You got a drone?
Check the angles. Left.
Too long, I might be able to kill.
Alright, let's
Okay.
go, let's go.
Okay, listen now. Don't rush things out. When you're going for the flank and lurk, rule number 1. If you kill an enemy, or you get compromised, you get revealed by the enemies, and you have enough time to rotate back towards your teammates, and keep your location a secret, do it. Here,
A few long, I might be able to kill.
we killed this guy. The spike didn't even get planted. We have plenty of time to slowly rotate back into the window, go run fast towards our teammates and play with them. We keep our location a secret. We apply a lot of mental and physical pressure onto the enemies. And we can support our teammates with a paranoia and smokes. Now, option number 2. Because the spike is already planted, our teammates are initiating the retake. We can play with them, but reset yourself a bit. You know, don't instantly take another fight. Don't panic. Fuck panic, bro. Like, give your teammates, let's say, a smoke for the B long. You know. Here. Bam.
Cover going out.
Jumps for the enemies in long. Aha, Jet is there. Let's go towards the short instead. Paranoia the enemies that are in short. Take the short control. Pinch the enemies from here, together with your allies, and then fight the enemies long. Or, we can smoke the short. Jump spot the enemies. In B long. Aha, Jet is there. Let's teleport. Let's flash the shit out of the enemies here. Kill the jet. Kill the enemies in long. Take the fight. Anyways. We should have jump spotted this angle. Like, whenever you're not certain where the enemies can be, and you don't have a proper information for your crosshair placement, jump spot that angle, and then with your utility, try to outplay the enemies, or with a proper crosshair placement and full peeker's advantage, delete that idiot.
Alright,
But
go.
here, doing this type of a panic peek, because your position got compromised, and enemies know that you're behind them, is the worst thing you can do in Valorant. The worst thing you can do in Valorant is chain the gunfights. You know, go. You take a fight. Take some time to reset. Take some time to properly take the next fight. You know? Don't chain them together. And one fight you take good, the other fight you take like, nah, it's okay. The third fight was good again. The fourth fight is... Don't do that. Why? Take your time. We have 40 seconds to defuse the spike. We just killed one enemy. Sage has a revive. Maybe she's gonna go back to revive that idiot. Take your time. Enemies already feel your pressure. But if your teammates start dying, then you need to, you know, changa. And be a bit more sloppy, Joe.
Let's go.
118.
Nice.
King scam.
Okay. Now, what did I teach you at the start of this VOD review? Whenever enemies are eco or half by, on the attacker side, chances are 80% they're gonna push you on either C or B. And in this round, chances are 90% that the initial contact between your team and the enemy team is gonna happen somewhere here. Where do we play? Let's start in the garage. Every single round when enemies were eco halberd bonus, they try to do something in the garage. Let's fuck them up there.
That was fine.
Get out of my way.
Grass.
Grass again. I'll one way.
Your positioning on a defender side is mega mindless. Like, you need to start reading the enemies based on their economy, based on their pattern of pushing, based on their utility, abilities, ultimate status, based on what they like to do on a macro/micro level, based on the map that you're playing, based on some of these common rules that an average ranked player follows. You cannot just position yourself however the fuck you want, or however the fuck your teammates tell you to do. With Omen, you can sometimes do that when you have the ultimate. You know, fill in the positions. But even then, when you have the Omen ultimate, it is better if you start on the bomb site where you think the enemies are gonna go next. So even if I was wrong in this round, and enemies actually won T, okay, I have the ultimate and, you know, I'm ready to support my jet really fast. But if I'm right, then I'm immediately there to support my allies in that initial contact with the enemies. What is this light shield, bro? Like, what the fuck? How are you playing light shield?
Need a drop.
Why did you drop a weapon, man? This guy has 5,000 credits and a full shield. This guy has... He robbed... I cannot say that. But you get the point. Why, you're a good teammate, I like it. Come on, man, like let's balance our economy a bit more. Why are you the one dropping the weapon? Buy the heavy shell, buy the vandal, like, and let somebody else buy for this jet.
I can buy an op if you want.
Even if you wanted to buy the... Sova should buy the op. Sova has like 5,000 credits. And a heavy shield and a vandal. Like... What? What is this economy mismanagement? My brother is like a... Come on, man.
It's a B.
Venezuela economy, man. Venezuela economy. Now, is it that big of a deal that he is playing Elisha in this round? Actually, yes. Actually, fucking yes. Because enemies are playing a eco halberd round. We're definitely gonna lose either B-side or garage. Enemies are gonna be in our anal cavity. And that 25 HP can decide a lot. Against the enemies that have a Sheriff, Ghost, Classic, Bucky, Stinger, and that type of shit. So, in a match where we played 6 rounds on a defender side, I was right 5 times already where you should have started your round. And that tells you a lot, obviously. First of all, I'm never hindsighting. You see, I first tell you what I should do, what I would have done, and then I see the round. Second of all, I'm not gonna be correct always. But if you follow these small rules, like if you apply some common sense in our gameplay, you will read enemies 60 to 80% of times. Which is much better than doing whatever the fuck you want to do, or whatever the fuck your teammates want you to do in a specific match. And from Iron 1 to Immortal 3, this is how you should play on a defender side. Period.
Wait, in the smoke, in the smoke.
But also, like, here, you know, I don't know why you initiated this push like this fast. So your Sova is safe. Cypher is being chilling in the garage. Phoenix is doing a lurk and flank. Like, wait, let them plant the spike. Who cares? You know? Like, you always want to synchronize your retakes and pushes together with what your allies are doing. Like, you don't want to be in the front lines right now. We have a numbers advantage. We have the economy advantage. Let them plant the spike. Wait for the Phoenix to finish his lurk flank, and then pinch the enemies together. Like this is a problem more of a map awareness and general gameplay than anything else. Why would I be at the front line here? Wait the smoke to disappear. Enemies have, anyways, they have a close range weapons. I don't want to be that close to the enemies. Let's reveal them first. Let's wait for the Sova dart, Sova drone, and then let's go for the retake. Slow down a bit. Like, you should play your retakes as fast as your teammates want to play them. You don't want to play them slower than them. You don't want to play them faster than them. Sometimes you will have to play them faster if there's no more time left on the clock. But most of the times, you should slow down a bit. Wait for your teammates. You know, even if you are retaking the site in the last 15 seconds, it's okay. We have plenty of time to defuse the spike.
Wait, in the smoke, in the smoke. Omen.
I don't care that he missed that shot. I don't give a shit. It's okay. It's totally fine. Like, what I care more about is that he went for the retake that fast. And in such a nonsense way. Like, wasting paranoia immediately alone and trying to stop the enemy's push alone. Fuck it. Fuck it. Enemies have economy disadvantage, numbers disadvantage. We are living a happy life, happy family. Phoenix is coming. Phoenix and Cypher are both coming behind them. We just use we use a one-way smoke. Here, enemies cannot kill us from the backside. We use a Paranoimus Rex. Like this, enemies are fucked on the left side here, right side here. We go out, bop, 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 bop. Kill all of the enemies, and that's it. Maybe even a better paranoia would be like this to clear this for our team as well. Like, that's what we should have done.
They walled, they broke that.
Always try to adapt to your allies and enemies, like their utility usage, pathing, economy, stuff like that. Pay attention. Minimap. Like this shit up there. you should be looking at 50% of your gameplay. 50% of your time, your eye should be up there, not on your screen. Charlatan, what are enemies gonna do in this round? Like, I don't know. You know, like, enemies are very consistent when it comes to their A, B, C, D, E, F, G pattern. But in this round, it's just like a 50-50 that enemies are either gonna go A or C. Since we have the Omen ultimate, we can gamble a bit more. Like, we can just start on A side, which is our highest priority and number one priority. And also, usually when players have the Omen ultimate on the attacker side of Haven, they want to go A. Like, around C, like, if there is a 50-50 gamble that enemies might go C or A, chances are for around 10% higher that enemies are gonna go on A side if they have the Omen ultimate. In the ranks below high elo lobbies, in the ranks below Immortal 3. Because what the Omen players like to do, like, they like to teleport, you know, below here or up here. And as soon as you hear the enemy Omen teleport, you should be pulling out your TP and doing this. And fucking up this guy and then going back onto the site to potentially stop the enemy's push together with your ally. Okay, let's see how we're gonna defend this. Just jiggle, pick.
Smoke me.
There was no reason to, like, why are you holding so wide? The aim and area of the map alone. No reason to do this. Like, just either hold it tight, like this, or jiggle peek it. Or go all the way to the left side and hold maybe this angle, you know? Why are you playing here like you're playing Jet or Reyna or Chamber? You don't have any escape utility. Why are you committing yourself to a 50-50 fight? And now, enemies gave you this smoke. What should we do? Yes, we should actually play in the smoke. Why? Because our Jet is aggressively taking the A short area of the map. We need to be ready to support the Jet with a Paranoimus Rex and to peek together with her. Oh, you cannot push. Never push through. Never push through the smokes with your gun facing forward. Always do this. You know, smoke is in front of me. Place your shoulder towards the smoke and then flick fast like this, so that the enemies don't see the tip of the gun before they see you. And we need to be aware here that maybe enemy Omen is already there. You know. Ooh, the crosshair placement for the poopy hole.
You want me to smoke C?
That smoke there is bad. How is that a bad smoke, Charlotte? I don't know why I turn into a Mickey Mouse every time. So, we have three types of the smokes in Valorant. Smoke to stop and delay the enemy's push. Bop, bop. So, these are the two smokes that you use to stop and delay the enemy's push. One-way smoke that really fucks up the enemies, and a deep smoke into the choke point that completely denies this space for the enemy team. So when they're going for an execute, they need to start using their utility already here, instead of popping out fast. Pop, pop, pop. Now, when you're retaking the bomb sites, we have the retake smokes, and they usually go exactly on the choke point, usually. And the third type of smokes are the smokes where you're trying to outplay the enemies, like you're playing around them. You know, we do some kind of a Kabi position, like that. Then we have the trialing smokes to try to isolate enemies in different duels, you know, like isolate the enemies in long, then enemies in short. Usually these smokes are very situational, depending how you want to outplay the enemies.
Okay, 40.
One outside B.
Okay. No. Listen, like, whenever you're pushing behind the enemies, like, first of all, never pull your knife out unless you're absolutely certain that all of the enemies are somewhere. You saw all of the enemies on the minimap. Second of all, clear the angles. like you're playing some kind of a hide and seek. Like, clear the angles with this mindset. Enemies can be everywhere and anywhere. I have no fucking clue where are the enemies. We need to clear every angle one by one. First of all, we don't clear this position. This position. How do you know that no one is there? Are you Harry Potter? You're not a Harry Potter. Fuck me in the ass then, like, bro, like, you know. We need to clear that. Then, jiggle peek this. Jiggle peek this. Maybe stairs down there. Now, jiggle this. Move forward. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Jiggle, jiggle. Everything. One at a time. Take your time. Even if your teammates are dying on the opposite part of the map, you know, take your time. Enemies can be anywhere. If your teammates are already dying on the opposite part of the map, fuck going behind the enemies. Use a TP, connect with your teammates,
My ultimate is ready.
and play with them. You know, much better idea. Okay, so this is the first round where, like, enemies did something different. Basically, they played a bit of a default, you know, and faked us. So, from now on, you know, we don't have that many things to read the enemies. In this next round, it's absolutely fine that we're playing ASAT again. Because, you know, it's a default site for us. We don't know what enemies are gonna do. We have the ultimate for the fast rotation, so it's absolutely fine. Let's see what we're gonna do. I don't know why you're holding this angle this wide. This is a suicide. Like, basically, like with Omen, I'm either doing this or I'm holding it this wide. I wouldn't hold it wider than this. Like, if you cannot catch the enemies here, like, just hold it like this. I really think that an Ascendant 2 player should be able to react on this fast swing with this type of a crosshair placement. But this, suicide.
Smoke break.
One too long.
Yeah,
One
he's
too long.
Could have cross shot.
default. I think they're defaulting.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just jump spot long.
Yeah.
Careful long, I'm just smoking long.
I mean, judging from this round here, like, they're doing the same shit. So right now, we cannot really make any move at all. Since they did, like, I don't know. Here, I would probably sell the whole A site and just play a retake. Because enemies can right now be in B, A link, they can be A short, long, like, fuck it, you know.
Yep. In B, I think they smoke B.
They're on.
Listen, whenever you lose both A short and A long control, never play here and never play here. Never play on the site. Like, you either play on tower or you're holding this tight angle here. Period. Like, you cannot allow yourself to get punished based on timing from short or long. Like, you, like here, in this example, where we sold the A side, I'm either gonna play from tower and just jiggle picking short and long occasionally, or I'm playing in this position, holding this cross, and trying to kill the enemies there. Everything else is way too risky, especially because we got the numbers advantage.
Oh, yep.
Hello, master.
Wait, walk in A.
What can I say? Sometimes I do be a Harry Potter. There's something that you never do. Like, you never, like, go back on the A set of Haven once you lost the full control of the A long and A short. Fuck it. Just play the retake. If the numbers are already equal, or if you have numbers advantage.
A.
Haven't. Need a teach, man.
And now, you know, in this eco round, it's absolutely fine. What they're doing. You know, they're fighting more for the mid control. For the last 2 rounds, enemies played default. You know, Omen was lurking A. 3 of their teammates were playing mid and 1 C long. So this is, why not? You know, we can try something outside of the box because we have no idea where enemies are gonna go. And we know what they did in the previous 2 rounds.
They're A.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, fast.
Doing that smoke there is actually fine because, I mean, we don't know how much space enemies have taken anyways. They have the Neon in the team, so she can run as fuck as fast boy. And also we're playing an equal halberd round, so we do want close range and medium range fights.
Graffiti and front side. Flashing.
Yeah, this was actually good. Very good round. Fuck him up, boy! Woof! Nice.
Left side short.
Crispy round.
Nice. Alright, bet.
Do you think learning one-ways are a must need for... yes. I mean, one of the main reasons why you main Omen is because of the one-way smokes. Like, it's really important to master all of them, to think outside of the box, and to just learn them. Every one of them. Every.
I'm walking up.
In this round, once again, we have no idea what enemies are gonna do. We still have the Omen ultimate, so gambling on the A side is still fine. But we should be using, like, in this round, there's no way I would go behind the enemies. Because our team has started falling apart, and I would use my ultimate to rotate fast and support my teammates. And I don't know why are you holding this A main area of the map in such a risky 50-50 way. Like, your job on a defender's side is to abuse as many 90-10 and 70-30 fights as possible before you commit yourself into a 50-50 fight. What are the 90-10 and 70-30 fights? Holding tight angles, pixel angles, off angles, fighting with your utility, fighting with your teammates, fighting on positions where you don't need to commit to the fight. But playing, I don't know, fully open here, good luck.
Okay. One jump spotting A.
Easy one.
Jiggle peek this angle.
Give me a second, I can get him.
Could have left already.
Oh, there's two.
One
There's two
ding.
holding.
Neon dinked.
1 mid. Omen just taking on B.
We'll see
I've
one.
got your trail.
Cover going out.
Plant.
Paranoia? I mean, listen, like here, you know, if you already have one teammate that is, you know, on the B side, and enemies are planting the spike on B, you should give him a Paranoimus Rex like this. You know, it might be enough for that ally to maybe stay alive and take some kills. Try it out. You know, like, you always want to support your teammates in a 4-dimensional way with your paranoia. If you think that paranoia might be useful for you, use it. You know, like, you're flashing enemies in a very wide area of the map. Sova is gonna take this fight, like, and we don't want to pray to God. Like, what's gonna happen in this fight?
Spike planted.
I pinged him.
Last player standing.
Fuck, dude.
And, to be honest, now that the whole round fell apart, safe. Our economy is not that good. We lost a lot of rounds already. We still have 2 more rounds to play. You have Heavy Shield, all of your utility, Vandal, winning a 1 versus 4 against the Sage with the ultimate and with a spike planted on B side. Almost impossible. And any kill that we get right now, it doesn't matter. Because enemy's economy is really good. Ours economy is shit. This is a moment to save the gun. Like, I don't care. I don't care what he's gonna do. I don't care about this. Okay, maybe in this elo, like actually, you know, maybe you should actually try win every round. Like, what the fuck how is this immortal? And then I'm asking myself why I hate this game, why I hate playing it. Like how do 3 imbeciles peak 1 by 1 in immortal elo, high ascendant, low immortal, and end up in a 1v1? I mean, good job by you. Like, you hit some really nice shots and the paranoia was nice and stuff like that. But this is just like, I want to get cancer from this game, literally. Like, and now, use your brain. There is a Sage wall on the B side. Go towards the spike. Half defuse the spike. Jet doesn't have the updraft. Reload your weapon. Win the round. Never mind. I don't know. Like, but I'm just done with this game. But when you're doing VOD reviews yourself, you need to distinct, like, whether or not the play that you did was good or enemies were just mentally disabled. Like, everything that you did in this round was actually not smart. Like, not good. Like, you only won this round because enemies are mentally disabled. And physically as well. This is gonna happen from time to time. You know, depending who you're fighting. Like, but these type of things usually are not gonna be possible. I mean, they're also possible in high elo. I don't know. Like, just it's just smarter to save in this round and that's it. But these guys are just mentally and physically, like, you know, in the wheelchair. Now, in this next round, let's see the enemy's economy just a second. Okay, it's fine. Like, to be honest, you know, what the enemy started doing in the last few rounds is they started following the rule of fear. Like, we fucked up the enemy's push on A, they went B. So now, there is a chance, like, once again, there is a 50-50 chance that enemies are either gonna push us on C or onto the A side. When you're playing Omen and you have the ultimate, it really doesn't matter, like, where you position yourself, because anyways you can rotate fast. So here playing on C side is actually fine. It's good. You know, why not? Enemies never really pushed C. Our Cypher changed his setup on A side, so sure, fine. Why not? But why are we starting in this way on C side? Like, on C side, there are so many good strategies and angles that you can abuse, like, with Omen. Like, we can start the round by playing here, trying to one-tap one enemy, then going up here, then from this position, trying to get one more kill, then using the one-way here, jump spotting the enemies, showing yourself, then getting up in the one-way. If enemies are pushing in, we can fuck them up from the one-way. Use a like... Why do you start here? I mean, it's okay, you can do it, but this should not be one of the first angles that you play. Like, this is okay. How he's holding this angle and also how he's positioning himself, but...
Smoke front C.
By the way, if this smoke is this deep, you're not gonna see anything. Like, right now, you should just be holding the smoke push. And he needs to play mega passive here, like safe here. Because they have a Sky in the team. Sky can be sending that Hawk Tua at any moment of time through this smoke. Like, basically, if I'm playing in this position and there is a smoke in my face, I'm playing on the bottom edge of it, like, and I'm just waiting to see what enemies are gonna do. As soon as I see the flash coming, I'm dropping down, countering the enemies with a flash, trying to kill them.
I have one wait for you.
You smoke a mid window.
Yep. Give me a second.
Never mind, Sky is actually mid. All good.
Window or
Hello, Omen.
too long.
Coming in.
Hey?
Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
Check the mid, check the mid.
Sorry.
Crosshair placement, negative 20 points.
Good one, sorry.
I really want you to change your mindset, like, when you have true numbers advantage. Fuck the map control. Fuck everything right now. Just play with the Cypher and Jet. You know, like, if I'm 3v1, I don't need any map control anymore. Like, you can just chill here, for an example, you know, behind the Jet. Watch this and watch this. Jet is watching this. Actually, Cypher is watching this, Jet is watching this, and that's it. We cover all of the angles. What a stupid ultimate, man.
Go and see.
What a stupid ultimate. What a waste.
30 seconds.
Not planting.
Listen, in these 3v1 scenarios, like, you should always bait the shit out of your teammates in this elo. And let them take the first fight. There's no reason for you to be so exposed and taking a 1v1 clean duel. Let your teammates take a first fight. You know, you don't need to take this duel. No one is forcing you to do that. You should have just been ready to refer your allies. And also, like, you know, whenever enemies are planting the spike on C, like here, you should always do this one way to deny all of this space for the enemies there. They need to either come a bit more forward, or they need to plant the spike, like, in this position or somewhere at the backside.
Yeah, I got you.
Now in this round, you know, once again, everything is a gamble. But enemies do seem to like fighting on mid a lot. And whenever your teammates and enemies are fighting on mid a lot, like, you should always be doing the smoke in window 24/7, instantly. Just drop it there.
Deep grass.
Alright.
You should have done the smoke there.
Nothing C long. Up, one C long.
I don't trust them. Very nice. Very good kill, very good everything.
One's in window.
Good jump spotting.
Do you want me to smoke it or?
I'm holding with off.
Okay.
Spike down A.
Yeah, some of your jump spots are way too wide. You know, don't show yourself to the enemies, like, for 5 seconds. Like, just do this. Bop. You know. Bop. Like, that's how the jump spot should look like. My dude is dancing a ballet, like fucking ballerine, man, in the air.
I'm smoking the closer line for you, so.
One enemy remaining.
I thought you
Okay.
were pushing you. My bad. Fuck me.
Okay. A pretty solid defender side. Not really mindful. Not really demure. You know, like, there's a lot of better things that he could have done in terms of his positioning and how he plays with his teammates. But overall, I saw much worse gameplays, you know, in general. Now, let's see what his problems are on the attacker side, and then let's figure out some kind of a training for him. Okay, now let's see what our friend Harshly is gonna do on attacker side of Haven. First of all, let's do a TLDR, like how to play Haven on the attacker side and what are your primary objectives. First of all, your number 1 priority is still A site. Number 2 priority, C site. Number 3 priority, B site and garage. Now, on Haven, in the first 4 to 6 rounds, you want to test the enemies together as 5 on A and C. B site you want to use as a last resort. Like if A pushes and C executes are not working for you, that is the moment of time when you should be testing the enemies on B and trying to see how they respond to these specific executes. Now, the reason why you should try to avoid the ending on B site as much as possible, because B post plans are usually 50-50. Like, it's really hard to play them perfectly, especially in ranks between Iron 1 and Immortal 3. Essentially, like, it's really hard to play a proper refrag game. It's really hard to compensate every single mistake that your teammates might do. And generally speaking, I mean, like, postplans on A site are piece of cake, and on C site as well. Like, I mean, it's very easy to play with your teammates 24/7, to refrag them, compensate their mistakes, etc., etc. On B side, you know, there's a lot of problems. Like, enemies can at any moment of time push us from behind. We have 2 choke points to defend, and only God knows how your teammates are going to do that and what they're going to do. Generally speaking, the best idea on Haven in our first round is like to push things based on enemy's team composition. Like, if enemies have 1 or more sentinels, like they have, like, I don't know, Cypher and Killjoy and Sage, for an example, like any of these guys here, like 1 or more, do a 5-man push on A. Like, your teammates cannot make that many mistakes as they're executing A site. Keep them all together. I've explained everything in the rank playbook anyways, but, you know, it really doesn't matter. Like, 3 players should go A long, 2 players should go A short, Spike should always go A long, and you should always go A long. And in the first round, if you're playing in the Elos ranks below Immortal 3, you should always go for some kind of an aggressive play. Like on A site, I would always go for the smoke here, or a one-way. Smoke on top of the site that blocks the vision of the enemies from tower, on short and long. Teleport instead of this smoke on bottom of it, and then on the contact between enemies and your allies, you just peek out and take easy kills and open the site for your team. Now, if enemies have 0 sentinels, but a real sentinel. Now, what is a real sentinel? Like Killjoy, Cypher, Sage. Chamber is not a sentinel. Deadlock also not good enough, and Wise is just Wise, like whatever. It's more like an initiator. Now, if enemies have 0 sentinels, in the first round, you can also run it down on C set as well. Like, it is totally fine to go 5-man C if enemies don't have Cypher, Killjoy, nor Sage. Man, if you're going C in the first round, you should always go for a smoke here, top smoke right here, teleporting in that smoke, and then from that smoke, we either peek on the contact between enemies or our allies, or we can extend our push and maybe teleport here, and basically take the backside control for our teammates and pinch the enemies. We can also drop down and just take the frontside control and then fight together with our allies. Remember that on Haven, another rule, general rule that you should follow, is that you should never, ever, ever contest the enemies here if they're playing some kind of an eco or hull by round on a defender's side. Eco, hull by bonus. Just do a 5-man push on C, 5-man push on A through A long, and take the A short afterwards. Period. If you're playing some kind of an eco and hull by round, I mean, anything can work, to be honest. Maybe you can create some kind of a pattern of pushing where you push A site 3 rounds in a row, then you fake A in the 4th round, go C. But generally speaking, like, whenever you are playing some kind of an eco and hull by round on the attacker side of Haven, the best idea is to try to get some cheesy kills in the garage and B side. Especially with Omen, you know, Shrouded Steps, Paranoia, Smokes. Like, it's very easy to close the gap with the enemies in these 2 areas of the map, and to trade yourself for 1, 2, 3, 4 kills, or maybe open some area of the map for your allies, or maybe like just, you know, take a kill, pick up the weapon from your allies, and just, you know, from enemies, and maybe win a round for your team. And in the first round with Omen, no matter which strategy you decide to do, you should always go for 2 smokes, 2 Shrouded Steps, and Light Shield. You're playing a classic pistol on this map. Now let's see what our friend is gonna do. So they're pushing C here. It's okay. It's fine. The problem is, like, you know, if the Sage decides to play around the garage, and she has slow orbs, our push is gonna be delayed quite a lot. Plus, they have the Omen to smoke us off and to fuck us up with a paranoia. Generally speaking, against this team composition, abusing A side should be piece of cake. It should be mega easy, essentially, to win the match. Just pushing A side 24/7, essentially. And there is no fucking way that in the ranks below Immortal 3, you should ever buy a paranoia on the attacker side in the first round. Like in the first round, if you're playing below Immortal 3, you need to go for some kind of an aggressive play in the first round and open the bomb site together with your allies. Maybe your allies are gonna be pussies, so that is why you will have to have shrouded steps and to move your teammates into the site. We always opt in and we always do some kind of a safe aggressive execute. Like, I'm not gonna teleport like in the face of 5 enemies. We have some pretty safe executes that we can do on both A site and C site. And, you know, you cannot risk it. Like, you don't know how aggressive your Jet is gonna be. You don't know what your Phoenix is gonna do. You don't know, your Jet might die in a choke point from the random spam of the enemy's team. So this paranoia is like, it doesn't matter. Like, literally, it's a hit or miss piece of utility in the first round, and it is not worth buying. Now, let's see how this is gonna pan out. But it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. You really need to practice your jump spotting a bit more. Like, your jump spotting looks mega rough. Sometimes you jump spot way too little. Sometimes you jump spot way too wide. You need to find a perfect balance. Like, you just want to reveal the angles, all of the angles on which enemies can be in that specific position, or do, you know, multiple jump spots to clear a specific area of the map. Like, on a defender side, like, you were always doing some mega wide jump spots for no reason. And you were staying up in the air for a way too long period of time where enemies can just one-tap you and destroy you.
Close, I think. Close right. Smoking garage.
One
Flashing.
shot,
Oh, you'll get blind.
Somebody A. Oh, two guys.
Yeah.
Reloading.
Listen, in the first round, if you ever have a teammate that wants to lurk and flank on the attacker side, like, try to somehow persuade that teammate to play together with you. Like, the first round on the attacker side should always be a 5-man aggressive execute towards one specific objective. There is no reason to lurk, to flank, to split the map. You have the advantage on the attacker side. Like, we all have semi-automatic weapons. Like, if you're pushing the site where there's no enemy sentinels, it should be a piece of cake for you to enter that site, to play a proper refrag game. Attacker side always have the advantage over the defender side in the first pistol round, as long as we play together as 5, and as long as we push the proper bomb site based on the map that we're playing and based on ours and enemy's team composition. If you have this type of Cypher, tell him something like, Cypher, brother, I'm gonna buy you 100, I'm gonna buy you Valorant points, just play with us, man. Like, I'm gonna give you a blowjob, just play with us, brother. Like, it's just so stupid in the first round playing slow, faking, rotating, I don't know, like, splitting the map, lurking. There's no reason to do that. In Valorant, at least.
I'm rapping.
Here, I mean, listen. Enemies are really close to your teammates. Mega close. We already lost one ally. What? What is this game decision? Here, you either fight with your teammates on site and we win this round together, or... and that's it. There's nothing else to do. Literally nothing else to do. Because enemies are mega close, They have Sky Dogs, Sky Flashes, Omen Smokes, Paranoia, whatever. Like, in this elo, you cannot trust these guys with anything, man. Especially not in the first round. Like, here we need to go for some double peeks, play together on the site. You know, maybe play on top of this green box and try to refrag your teammates as the enemies are moving in. We do the one-way smoke maybe here to deny the enemies push through the garage, and that's the best we can do. After losing that cipher here, and since our teammates are so deep towards the enemies, you don't have time to do this. And you should never do this. Like, essentially, you know, on pistol round, you should always simplify. The... I wish I was Cypher. You should always simplify your gameplay as much as possible. Like, don't complicate it. Don't flank, don't lurk. Like, just focus on a proper refrag game, proper utility usage, and that is how you have the highest chance of winning that round on the attacker's side.
Oh, flank.
And you know, whenever you don't have any piece of utility for the flanks and lurks behind you on the attacker's side, you should be mega aware that enemies can be behind you at any moment of time. Like, here also another problem is, like, you didn't have any benefit of running. Like, you had to go for a slow push behind the enemies because you don't know if they're behind you. I mean, if I was in the enemy team and I just killed your Cypher and I'm 5 versus 4, probably I'm gonna have one imbecile such as this Neon that is gonna try to go behind you and try to flank you, even though that is not the best idea ever. But you know, these players are gonna do it. Overall, like, it really doesn't matter that you died here. Like, this game decision alone is a bad mentality to have in a first round on the attacker's side. It is much better if you fought with your teammates on the site. Maybe, you know, instead of this smoke, waiting to see if one enemy is gonna push you, trying to kill that one enemy, trying to trade yourself for 1, 2, 3 kills, like, you know, it really doesn't matter that you died here. Because anyways, I guarantee you that your teammates would have died before you had a chance to complete this type of a lurk flank, you know, to wrap the enemies around.
Me. Flank, Neon flank.
Yeah, they died. They died like potatoes, like. And like, now, like, you know, if you win the first round of Haven, just avoid this area of the map and do a 5-man push on C or 5-man push on A through A long. If you lose the first round, then usually what the best idea is to try to get some cheesy kill in either garage or B site. Because with Omen, it is so easy to teleport into the enemy's anal cavity with a shorty and potentially trade yourself for, you know, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 kills. Like, for an example, you know, we can just buy a shorty with 2 shrouded steps. Instantly as the round starts, we do this or we do this. And then from this position, we engage enemies here. A lot of the times, what players like to do on Haven, they love to go for an aggro peek like this, because they're hungry for the kills. And you can just wait for that enemy, he pop flashes or whatever, like you dodge the flash, bop, kill that idiot, take the stinger or whatever they have, and, you know, take additional space for your team. If nobody peeks anything, no problem. We can just use a shallow smoke here like this, jump spot the enemies in garage, teleport in this corner, not in the smoke, but in this corner. The only angle from which enemies can kill you is that one there, but you need to gamble a bit anyways. And then we go up here. We try to find some kills in the garage. Wait, be patient. Maybe someone is gonna peek. If nobody peeks, okay, let's try to, you know, follow up our teammates. Like, when you're pushing C-side, we can do this smoke to cover ourselves up from the backside, move into the smoke, maybe find a kill on the site. If your teammates want to go B, even better. Like, we can maybe smoke the left side like this, teleport in this corner, go into the smoke, try to kill this guy, try to kill enemies at the backside. Like, it is mega easy. Like, 60, 70, 80% of times, you can get at least one kill with a shorty and Omen on the attacker side in the second round. This moment that he's doing here is okay. I mean, like, there's like a smoke to block off the enemy's, you know, vision, to deny them the information in the C long. It's okay sometimes to use this smoke, like, especially for teammates want to play slow and a bit default. Like, okay, whatever. But right now, I will definitely be playing with my teammates in Garden. Holy shit, that gave us a new haircut, man.
There are two outlaws.
Like, generally speaking, and also another tip, like, when it comes to these eco and halberd rounds, why the fuck? Players below, Immortal 3, play these eco rounds in a default way. So your idea is to isolate 1 versus 1 gunfights in A main, mid, and C long against the enemies that have the Bulldogs, Outlaws, Spectres, Marshals, whatever. How do you expect to win that round? Like, you have 40% higher chances of potentially winning these eco rounds on the attacker side if you just play together as 5. And just try to kill at least 1 or 2 enemies in one specific area of the map together. On Haven, that is usually garage or B side. Don't allow your teammates to play default these type of rounds. It's not gonna end well. Like, it's never gonna end well. Especially not on a map such as Haven. Just, hey guys, let's try to work up garage. Let's try to work up B. Let's try to get some kills there. Let's try to plant the spike for the money and ultimate points. And then, you know, let's see where that leads us.
Yeah, sure.
You really need to start peeking through the smokes with your shoulder. We talked a bit about this on the attack on a defender side, but on attack it's even more important. Like, I mean, literally, you cannot peek the smokes with a gun coming out first through the smoke. It needs to be a shoulder peek and a fast flick. Like, and I already explained it while we were doing the defender side of this WOD review. Like, it needs to look like this, man. Like, you want to peek this smoke. Okay, you can do it. I mean, it's equal round anyways. Like, let's try to catch some enemies off guard. But the peek needs to be, you know, like, bop, and that's it. Or if you want to go here for some reason, bop. Like, you cannot go with the gun out. And what he's doing right now is fine. I mean, anyways, like, you know, this round was cooked and fucked, like, from the beginning. From the beginning.
I lied. 7.
Oh, well, but we got a spike plan, which is good. And we got 3 kills, but still, maybe we could have won this round if we just fucked up the enemies in garage and B. Now, you know, whenever enemies are playing eco, bonus, halberd round on defender side, avoid the garage, avoid B set, avoid A short. Send it A long. If your teammates want to go A short, sure, fine. Let them go A short. Just make sure they have some kind of a recon utility there, you know. Tell the Sova to drone or something like that. But you should not touch these 3 positions when enemies are eco, halberd, and bonus.
Going for Sova now.
Now we need to be aware that enemies have an outlaw on defender side. Last time that outlaw played in A long area of the map. So we need to tread carefully through this A long area of the map. Like, probably in this round I would just, you know, teleport into this corner. From this corner, jiggle peek that angle. Then clear this position. Check this. Check this. Jump spot the enemies and then go for an execute.
Lots of your drone. Shotguns.
Yeah, might have to drone short.
Ooh, listen, like, don't peek the... Like, when you teleport here, don't peek the A-long like this. Like always, jiggle peek this angle. I mean, that is one of the angles that you should hold to kill the enemy Omen that is teleporting there. Like one of the very safe positions to play. You know, like this is like a 70-30, 90-10 gunfight. Like you're not risking it that much. And it's very easy to get a kill onto this guy. So always check that position first, move down here, and then swing the long angle from this elevation. This was mega interesting. Like here, nothing better you could have done. At least not in this round. From now on, when we are pushing A side, we need to take in, you know, account that our teammates are mentally retarded. They're not really the best players alive. So, you know, if your teammates are dying like this in aim and area of the map, every round you need to start by dropping the smoke here, dropping paranoia for short, and that's how you take the space. And then allowing your teammates to take a bit more space here, and then we go for an execute. We can cut the noise for 20 seconds. Make the enemies think a bit, like, are they going in? Are they faking? Stuff like that. And then after 20 seconds, we go for an execute. 20-30 seconds, essentially.
Spike down A.
Now, once again, we have a problem. And that problem is, like, we lost the cipher. We lost the tripwires. So here, to be honest, like, I wouldn't even aggress the enemies. I would just hold my Phoenix body. You know, usually when the Phoenix is ulting, like, enemies are gonna try to backstab him. So right now, like, as soon as your Phoenix ulted, we should have held this angle. Wait to see if Phoenix is maybe gonna get one pick. After Phoenix completes his, you know, Usain Bolt run, we decide what to do next.
This is rough.
This is gonna be fucked up, bro, if he dies. But also, listen, so we are 2 versus 4. You have no idea. You have zero idea what enemies are doing here. Like, enemies can be there, 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 there. Like, they can be holding you from 9, 10 different angles. You know. And not only one enemy. 3 enemies right now can be staring at your face. And you decide to peek that type of area of the map with a swing like this. Like, you need to be a Scream to survive that type of a fight. And playing Reyna as well. Or Jet. Brother, like, if you have no idea where the fuck are the enemies here, we either jump spot the enemies and then go for a swing with a proper crosshair placement and peeker's advantage, or we cut the pie one angle at a time. One angle at a time. One angle at... While you're doing this, you can, you know, you place your eyes here to see this and this angle. One angle at a time. One angle at a time. One angle at a time. Like, you cannot go like this. And then once we see the enemies, they're like, you had 2 smokes, paranoia and shrouded steps, and you died without using a single piece of your utility. How is that possible? Like here, okay, 2 enemies are on side there. Great. Let's smoke this. Let's flash the idiots. Let's push in. Let's maybe use a smoke here. And now, enemies need to guess. We can isolate the enemies in 1v1 fights, you know. Take this fight. Fake them. Make them think that you went into that smoke. Maybe another guy peeks. Bop. Take that kill. Connect with your feet. Like, in this type of scenario where you're in a numbers disadvantage or left alone, your whole job is to isolate fights that either work in your favor or are clean 1v1 50-50 fights. But swinging a choke point where enemies can be on 9 positions, okay, I mean, like, I reached Radiant 23 times. Yes, my aim is not the best, but probably 10 times better than yours. I cannot take. I wouldn't be able to kill these two guys that were holding you, that are Ascendant, Immortal, whatever. Like, you try to do something that is undoable, essentially.
Holy shit.
Yes, I mean, that like, Omen really hit a nice shot, but he had a peeker's advantage. He knew exactly your location. You had shit tons of utility to outplay the enemies, go in their face, fuck them up with a paranoia smokes. Like, come on, man.
Just
Shallow.
smoke this and flash TP.
Just make presence A real quick.
Good. Okay, good take of
They
the
want
mid.
B. There goes the plan.
Okay. Generally speaking, like on Heaven, if enemies don't have a Cypher or Killjoy or Sage that are playing CSAT and A side, like most of the times in the full buy rounds, you should be trying to end up on A or C. And in the earlier stages of the game, like the first 4 to 6 rounds, just doing farm and executes on A and C, testing the enemies a bit. You know, in eco rounds we can try to split the C side. In eco rounds, half by rounds, we can try to push A as well. You know, if you have a smoke here, we can easily end up a bit closer to the enemies and then pop out and try to move in. Like, but yeah.
Let me check on top of the wall first. I think he's on top.
He fell, I think. I'm pretty sure he fell.
Going out.
Okay, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, he's on top.
I'm stunned.
Paranoia? Okay. Nice shot.
Omen's here.
I don't know, man. Like whenever you hear an enemy that close, pushing your allies, your instant reaction, you know, something that is on autopilot mode for you, should be pulling out the flash, flashing that idiot, and disallowing your teammates to take a 1v1 fight. It is just stupid to allow that, you know, that Sova could have easily died if that Neon was any better.
One's on B.
I'm blind.
Cover going out.
I can flash backside if you want to go in.
Wait for 3 seconds.
Yep, I was smoking 3 as well.
Alright, go.
Smoking CT.
Okay. One of the most basic general rules that you want to follow in Valorant is you should never be holding your utility in your hands before you're ready to deploy it. Like, there should never be a moment of time where you're, like, you know, like you're in the garage, there's a smoke behind you, enemies can peek out of that smoke at any moment of time, and you're doing this. I don't know if Sky is gonna send the fucking bird in our face right now and shit on all of us. You know, when enemy Omen is gonna use a paranoia and just run us down, and you don't know that as well. Wait a bit. You know, like, just hold the smoke, hold the angles, you know, hold your gun in your hands, and then when your teammates are ready to go out, okay, let's do a fast smoke, Paranoimus Rex, and let's move out together with them.
Ready? Flashing now.
And listen, if you're the last guy coming through garage, always pay attention on your anal cavity. Like, even if you have only one teammate in front of you, and there is a chance for this guy to do this, you need to place your crosshair like this, and then when you reach this position, you pay attention on the side, and you're trying to move away from this angle as fast as possible. Like, you're trying to reach this position like it depends, your life depends on it. Real life. So, if you have two teammates in front of you, do this. Let them protect you in front. You protect their backs. And then just try to end up here ASAP.
Backside.
Down C.
And also here, when you were taking these two fights, I would move out of this corridor. I would instantly try to get this cover. Because while I'm fighting the Sage and Omen, Sky can peek through the window at any moment of time. Even if he killed the Omen, there's a chance he would have died from that peak.
PC. Backside.
Down.
This right here is just raw mechanical problems, like really nothing to speak about. After this VOD review, I'm gonna watch this VOD again one more time, and I'm gonna share with you some kind of mechanical training that you can perform to fix your mechanical problems. Simple as that.
C. Last player standing.
You know, one idea popped out in my mind. Because Valorant is... Actually, we're gonna talk about that later. Did he win this?
Nice.
Okay, good. I mean, to be honest, you know, what do we always do? In the first 4 rounds, on the attacker side of Valorant, we always pay attention on the enemy's, like, on the enemy's positioning, utility usage, and how enemies play on defense. Essentially, we know that Omen is playing C. We know that Sage is always walling the B site and playing on the B site. And the rest of the enemy team is kind of like playing, you know, Garage A, and they're rotating. Neon, Jet, and Sky cannot defend the A site. Like, against the proper execute, it's impossible. Against this team composition. In this match, I would put a heavy focus onto the A site in the full buy rounds. Maybe using it as a fake and just trying to test the enemies, essentially, and how they respond to our executes.
Maybe. Yeah, let me go.
Okay, let's see if he shoots the smoke. Nothing. He's
I would generally advise you to stay away from taking this type of a fight in a window, because most of the times this fight works in the favor of an enemy that is holding the window. Like, it's not really a favorable fight because enemies can be in the window and below as well. And you need to gamble your crosshair a lot. While the enemies that are holding the garage, they don't need to do that many gambles. You know, their crosshair, they need to do less micro corrections and micro adjustments.
holding this.
And also, if the enemy is holding you with an op, like, you're probably dead. You should have died there, to be honest. Already
Young
here.
garage.
Now listen. Okay, you fake the enemies a bit in a garage. You applied a bit of the pressure. Your teammates are moving onto A site. Done. Done. I'm taking the spike, playing with my teammates on A, and that's it. I ain't risking. In this elo, I ain't risking my Cypher dying here and my teammates dying here. Like, usually in these lobbies, like between Iron 1 and Immortal 3, like, team play wins the games. Most of the times. And team play is what you should try to do in the first 6 rounds. When I say team play, just playing together as 5 towards one specific objective. Because a lot of the times in these lobbies, if you have the proper executes, proper utility usage, enemies won't have the response to that. You'll be taking the bomb sets for free. Now the problem is, like, you know, what type of utility users you're gonna have from your teammates, but that's why you should try this playstyle first, and then after 4th, 5th, or 6th round, if that is not working, okay, let's try to lurk a bit more, flank a bit more, let's try to test the enemies in a different way. Let's try to find some different solution.
You have flash or anything?
Smoking heaven.
Let's go.
Smoking CT.
Backside, backside. One short.
In this round, you allowed your teammates to play way too much alone. I don't know what you were doing, to be honest. I don't know why you were even contesting the enemies in a garage or playing alone at the first place. Because there was no reason to do that. You put a lot of trust into those guys. And considering how the first few rounds went, I don't, you know, we still don't know if we can trust these teammates. How good they're gonna be, how good they're gonna fight these 50-50 gunfights, you know, like, how good they're gonna execute the bomb sites. Smoke setup is fine, like, your support is fine, but you're not there to actually, like, you know, refrag them and use their lives. And also, you know, when you're doing this smoke for CT, the CT smoke should always look either like this, like exactly like this, like it should be on this position, or it should be a one-way smoke, and that's it. Your smoke was a bit more shallow, like this, allowing the enemies to see and get into this space and then pop out and fuck up your allies. Don't do a shallow smoke. Just look at it at the minimap.
Drop down, drop down, drop down.
Spike down A.
One short.
Short.
Heaven.
Oh my god.
Standing.
Unlucky, unlucky. And to be honest here, like, you should have went, you had to go through the short. I mean, you heard and you saw that the Sky used the ultimate in short. We need to deal with that enemy ASAP. Because we have two teammates that are stuck on the bomb site. They can get pinched from 1, 2, 3 different positions at any moment of time. You know, in these type of scenarios, you need to just, you know, grab your balls and just swing, just go. Just go short. And try to deal with that Sky before the Sky deals with the rest of your team.
Smoking A lane.
I mean, on Haven, like, if you're pushing the B-side garage in these eco rounds, halberd rounds, like, you can easily abuse the Bucky, Shorty, like, you don't need to play a Sheriff, man. Especially if you're pushing B-side. You can get some very, very easy kills in this elo. With just a Bucky and Shorty, you know? Like, we do shrouded steps here. You know, enemy picks us here. Bam. He is dead. Okay, we wanna go B, no problem. Let one of your teammates walk in front of you. We can do a regular smokes here and here. Travel forward. Flash the enemies on the left or on the left and backside a bit. Teleport into this corner. Kill this guy, this guy, this guy. Then we can bunny hop at the backside. Try to get that kill. We can maybe path into the smoke. Enemies are close. Swing out, try to get a few kills. Remember, in eco rounds, you are a kamikaze. 1944. Airplane driver. So, your job is not to stay alive. Playing default is stupid. Most of the times it doesn't work. We need to use some kind of a cheesy weapon and a cheesy strategy to make the numbers advantage. Or to at least trade ourselves for as many kills as possible before our teammates start dying. And apply the pressure onto enemies.
Flashing him.
Oh,
Here, like, I don't know. You should have dropped both of your smokes before we enter the site. I mean, you had time to do it. And I don't know why you didn't do it. Like here, you know, you had time to drop one smoke, then the second smoke, and then let's use a paranoia. Like I don't know why you force yourself to use like this paranoia so yes, I mean your teammate is fighting the enemies, but we don't have any angles right now from which we can actually flash that jet without flashing your allies.
Flashing him.
oh.
Oh, he's up.
Okay. Okay. I think like, you know, always remember, the more you simplify your gameplay in Valorant, and the more cheesy you make it, the more success you're gonna find. Like, I mean, yeah, I can buy a Sheriff and a Light Shield and try to get some one-taps, but that is a hard gameplay in Valorant. From Iron 1 to Immortal 3. Much easier gameplay is just what I'm trying to teach you here.
Like if she doesn't make contact.
I don't know, like, in this match, we still didn't try a proper 5-man execute onto A site. And now I will still try that shit, to be honest. And also, another problem is like, you know, if you notice that your teammates are really bad when they're executing the bomb sites, you need to turn on your Omen aggressive mode. Like, that is the moment of time where you use your utility for yourself, primarily, and not for your team. Like, considering what type of teammates you got right now, I don't know, like, you know, we cannot really rely on them to take the space. But it is still not the time to lurk and flank. Definitely.
On site, they know I'm here.
This was way too fast, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to go for this type of a play, you cannot do it immediately. Like, you need to take some space first, do the smokes, do the paranoia, and then you go out. Like, first of all, only in some eco rounds and halberd rounds, I'll try to teleport on tower, because TP on tower is always risky. One enemy can always be here, waiting for you to teleport and then fucking you up. And I love to do that a lot. Whenever I see that Omen has the ultimate on the attacker side, and I think they're gonna go A, I literally play the whole round here. And I get that kill on this idiot 60 to 70% of times. It is just stupid. And if he teleports under, whatever, I can just drop down with a paranoia, take a kill onto him, and that's it. But your TP cannot be this fast. Take some space with your allies. You don't know if your teammates will even, you know, take the long control. Maybe the enemies are gonna fully push them, demolish your whole team, and then you're gonna be like, what, 1 versus 5? 1 versus 4, 1 versus, like, what? It doesn't make any sense. Push with your teammates, take the space, do the smokes, do the paranoia for your allies, and 90% of times, you just want to make the sandwich out of the enemies under the bomb site. As your teammates are moving in, we use this ultimate, commit to the ultimate, and take the space.
I'm gonna grab bomb.
And also, like, 90% of times, you don't want to contest the enemies in this, like, you know, this, like, city area of the map when you teleport up here. You want to take the site control together with your allies, and that should be your #1 priority. #1 priority. Like, taking this duel that he took right now is really not worth it, because once again, enemies can be anywhere in this area of the map. Enemies will be expecting you, especially if they heard you teleporting on tower. They're the ones under the pressure, you know. They're the ones that need to slow down and walk up to you. Your main focus when you teleport on tower is just pinching the enemies on the bomb site, ASAP, getting down from tower, ASAP, and taking the bomb site control, and planting that fucking spike. And that's it, nothing else. How can you teleport under heaven? If you aim here, you teleport under the tower. If you aim here, you teleport on top of the tower. And that's it. Like, this is another duel that I would not have taken right now. It is just not worth it. Way too risky, essentially.
Go the bomb.
Especially since your teammates started dying in A short. Like, I mean, fuck the top. Fuck these enemies in the city, man. You know, like, I need to deal with that Sky in the A short. I need to help my Sova and my teammates pushing the site. Like, I cannot focus on anyone that is in city. You play way too much disconnected from your teammates. You know. And because of these small timings, you're kind of losing their lives, an opportunity to actually refrag them. I don't know, like, you just need to tweak your gameplay for like 20%, and you'll have much higher chances of winning all of these rounds. Like here, for an example, this is also stupid. Why? Because Sheriff and a Light Shield. Why? Like, we know that one guy is always playing in the garage. Like, Neon is always somewhere here. Teleport close, buy a Bucky with a light shield and utility, jumps for these angles. Once you see the neon, do the shallow smoke, use a paranoia onto the neon, TP into the smoke. You'll get 1 kill. Minimum 1 kill. We know that enemies are playing really passively on the B side, usually at the back side, right here. And the Sage likes to play up here when she walls up. Okay, let's destroy the wall. Let's smoke this and this. Use a paranoia on the left side. Teleport into this corner. Kill the Sage. And move into the site. Maybe move into this smoke. Isolate more kills. With a Bucky.
Cover going out.
Die long. Neon garage.
That neon was such an easy kill. With a shorty Bucky. Like, it's just, you know, easy kills.
Gonna break that wall on B.
And a free gun for us.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
Omen is
Okay.
offing C.
Okay. I don't know, you just need to read the enemies a bit more and to understand what is easier for you and what is harder for you. Essentially, like, I mean, you're really trying to do some stuff that at your current skill level is just not possible. And in these lobbies as well. Like, this is not esports, you're not Scream, you know? Your teammates are not Liquid roster. Like, you need to pay more attention. You know what type of teammates you get. I'm gonna share with you some private coaching videos that are gonna share that are gonna shift your mentality completely in Valorant. And with these videos, it should be a piece of cake for you to reach like Immortal 3. After Immortal 3, like, you know, you need to change your mentality and how you play the game again. But let's first get to Immortal 3, shall we? Okay, we know that Omen has the... Listen, usually one of the easiest way to deal with the operator on C-Long when you're playing the Omen is by doing this rather step. Like, literally, you know, one of the easiest way to take a kill onto that idiot is just doing this, and from this position, you know, picking that off player. Because most of the players make 2 mistakes. Mistake number 1, I mean, not 2 mistakes, like, most of the players do these 2 things. Number 1, they just focus on the left side, which is normal. I mean, that's where the enemies are peeking from, right? And the second mistake is, like, sometimes what players do is, like, they double zoom here, like this. I never hold this angle with a double scope if I'm playing against the Omen or Yoru, because these guys can always TP there and just fuck me up, and I don't see them because of the scope. Even, you know, players are gonna do this as well. They don't see this part of the screen. And that is why, with the op, you never hold the C-Long with a double scope. This angle, you can hold while double scoped. You know. This angle here, as well. This angle here, as well. This angle here, as well. It's okay. I mean, you're not staying for too long of a fight. This angle, not... Yeah, this angle you cannot do that. Because you don't see half of your screen there.
Take flight.
With the Omen and
Listen, if the callout is to push the seaside fast, this is how you start your rounds with Omen. Do an instant gather smoke, jump spot the enemies before your teammates even have a chance to take a fight, and as your teammates are running in front of you, you need to do this. Like, you need to grab yourself by your pussy or balls, I don't know what you have, and just do the smoke as you're running behind your allies through the choke point. You need to be here at the moment of time when your most aggressive teammate is here. Otherwise, you won't be able to support that teammate in real time with your paranoia and with your presence. How did I just jump, bro?
Flight.
50 Omen and
Okay, listen. Whenever you end up on the C site, and we are playing the post plant from the actual site, always, like, this is one of your main positions that you want to take for the post plant. Just skip it, dip, there, you know, and take this spot. Very easy spot to fuck up the enemies that are pushing through CT, and to support your teammates fighting here. And also a really good spot to hold the enemies pushing through garage. Then with the one-way smoke, you know, we can fully block that vision, focus on the enemies in CT, and that's it. But you never want to play or end up in this suicide position. Why is this a suicide position? Because as the enemies are rushing out, and if you don't have any cover, you know, with the flashes, with the stuns, with utility, they're just gonna fuck you up in that corner.
Careful flank.
And here, you know, if your teammates already planned the spike for C long, and the majority of your team wants to play the postman from C long, fuck it. Just go long and play with them. Like, in the postplans and retakes, you just need to ask yourself, like, what are your win conditions? Here in a 4v2 scenario, like, nah, we don't need a side control. Like, they have only Sky and Sage. They don't have enough utility, enough good utility to play the retake right now. Like, just play with your Sova that has the ultimate and arrows. Play with your Phoenix that has the flash and Molotov, and that's it. Like, we don't care about the jet.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
What are they shooting at? One way smokes very hard, huh? Okay, I mean, this is an easy round. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at, to be honest. I don't know what I'm waiting for there. Sage can vertical wall long through though can bro, like, I've never seen that shit in any ranked match that I have played in a 4.5 years of Valorant. I've never seen any Sage place a vertical wall to defuse the spike. So chances of that happening in this elo, below 1%. Like, not even that.
Smoking heaven. Smoking CT. Flashing shot and default, flashing.
Okay. I like how Sova is our most aggressive teammate and other jet like. Listen, when you're moving into the bomb sites, like, no matter like no matter like how fast your teammates are moving and how overexposed you are, you need to be a bit closer to your allies to refrag them. Like here, for an example. Let's see this. So your Sova is here. Why are you holding the peak from the backside? Like, essentially, when you're moving into the A site, and one of your teammates is here, contesting the enemies there, you should already be here, contesting the enemies on the left side. Now, as your teammate is here, you need to be somewhere here, to be ready to refray that ally. Like, there needs to be a shorter distance between you and your most aggressive teammates. During every single execute that you did, to be honest.
They dropped out.
I don't know, like here, we didn't really play a proper refrag, number one. And number two, like, I mean, your map awareness can be a lot better. Like, I mean, we did see. We saw that Sky at this moment of time. And you should have been aware that Sky can peek you on the left side at any moment of time. Especially when the Sky killed the Phoenix. Your crosshair right now should have been here, and not here. Because your Sova is already... He has a line of sight there. There's nobody to kill you there.
They dropped.
And the rest is just raw mechanics, like we need to hit the shots and that's it.
One too long.
People can copy after watching VCT. And people don't use brain in Valorant. You need to understand that. Like, but did you fucking see the 3 games that I played today, man? That is a top 0.001% of players in Valorant. We played a match with a fucking scream. Did you see those callouts, man? Did you see that level of communication? Nada. Doesn't exist, bro. Maybe in North America, like, there is some higher level of gameplay. People are, like, thinking a bit more. But these days, I really think that every other region in Valorant is, number one, mentally retarded. They are disabled. I don't know why they play the game. Number 3. Number 4, they are, like, completely muted in real life. And that's it. And everyone is just fighting. Like, swing this, swing that. Like, I don't remember last time where I played, like, a proper game of Valorant. Like a proper game of Valorant. On both attackers and defenders side. Now, listen here. So, whenever you notice that your teammates are this bad during the executes, like they are still willing to push in, but your teammates are aggressive and bad, you need to go for the aggressive plays with Omen. Like, you need to be already on the bomb site, supporting your allies as your teammates are getting the duels. So these are exactly the type of matches where you need to activate your Omen aggressive mode. Like, you know, you're exiting C site. Okay, if my teammates are already that bad, we need to do this. We need to do this. Flash the enemies on the right. Go for the TP play. You know, up there, sorry. I missed it. Then, from this position, wait for your teammates to get a contact with the enemies. If your teammates are leaving you alone, okay, always remember, you always have the option to go back. There's always going to be a smoke here. Not always, but most of the time. And you can just go back. And that's it. If your teammates are taking the contact with the enemies, okay, we can swing at any moment of time. We can maybe make some kind of an additional aggression. Like, I've covered millions of these executes for Omen in my ranked playbook on a Discord server. Millions. Now, your teammates want to push A side. No problem. They are aggressive and bad. I need to take the aggression in my own hands. If that is the case, okay, we clear this. We're gonna do the smoke for the CT. Now, you're not gonna have a tower smoke because you're bad. You're gonna have that smoke, paranoia, and I'm moving in. Now, from this position, I can grab the enemies into the bomb site, pick them. If we teleport on top, from this position, we can swing the enemies at any moment of time. Plus, from this position, we can teleport here, we can teleport under, and continue our aggression. Or we can just peek on the contact between enemies and our allies. If our teammates are not pushing in, we can always TP back into the enemy smoke and essentially, like, you know, abort the mission. Now, there's no other way, like, of winning this type of matches. Like, another solution for this match is, like, trying to fuck up the enemies that are way too repetitive. Like, Omen was always playing the operator, you know, on top of the site, here and here. In one round, what we can try to do is teleport here, and from that angle, try to kill the enemy Omen that is holding this with the op. Enemy Neon was also quite repetitive in the garage as well. Maybe we can take a kill there as well. And if your teammates want to cooperate, to be honest, in this match, what we could have noticed is that enemies love to rotate really fast. And when enemies are doing such a fast rotations, faking them should be easy peasy. But the problem is, like, You know, considering what type of teammates you got in this match on the attack, I don't know how that fake is gonna look like.
One.
Killing that Omen with this teleport that I've showcased you earlier should be piece of cake. Just, you know, okay. You notice that Omen is always here, like, hit TP across. And from this position, clear the angles, one at a time. One at a time. One at a time. Bop, 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 bop. And take the kill. It's actually people stopped caring about rank because they are bored playing the same shit. I personally think that's the problem. I also think, like, I really, you know, there's no reason to play Valorant right now. For a lot of players. Essentially, like, especially in high elo lobbies. Like, in high elo lobbies, like, I don't know, man. Like, even I stopped caring. Completely. Like, I only care during one act. Just to get this, my 10th Radiant gun body. And that's it. Like, for 1 month. During 6 months, I actually try hard. And then 5 months, I'm just... I don't know, I don't have willpower to play. Like, this act, for an example. Like, why the fuck would I try hard? For what? Like, literally for what? There's nothing to do in this game. Once you reach Radiant. Nothing. Especially if we're playing solo queue. Boring.
Too long. Smoking A lane. Smoking garage window. Omen back C. Top C dinked. Omen. Dead.
Also one A.
TP? Like, you really need to get onto your autopilot mode. Like, getting on this position as your teammates are planting the spike. Like, you don't want to be here in this crossfire and exposed from the get-go. Get here, man. On this position, when your teammates are getting in the fight, in the CT, bop, bop, take the kills. Hold the getters for your teammates. Like, that should be one of your primary positions that you want to take as soon as you're ending up on the C side. And also, like, always keep track of your smokes. Like, one-way smokes of Omen are mega powerful to fuck up the enemy's retakes. Like here, why would I even take this fight? I can just do the smoke here. Play this off angle. Neon wants to go in with a wall and dash. No problem, I can just kill her easily. Jetta smokes this, no problem, I can paranoia, push them back, take a kill. Easy.
Yo, we done fight garage, bro.
Flash. That was really risky, man. I mean, we're playing against the sky. I would, like, depending who I'm fighting at that moment of time, depends how I position myself. I mean, if I hurt Sky using the ultimate here, there is no way I would be holding this. I will instantly try to teleport back on this spot or back onto the bomb site. Why? I would be expecting that bird shitting across my face, man. You know. Like, who you fight depends how you position. You were just a bit lucky here. I don't know what Sky was doing. I didn't see a single Sky flash on Defender's side. I think it's good if you're Platinum or Diamond because you can actually improve and rank up if you try hard, but at the most there's no growth for me. What? Unless you want to go pro or hit rank 1, there's absolutely no point. Even hitting rank 1 is like, or top 10 is just a waste of time. You know? Like, why? You know, that's why I never have a willpower to actually play for top 10 or rank 1 and shit like that. Like, I'm just like, as soon as I get Radiant, I'm like, what am I doing with my life, you know? I can be making money from videos, from coaching, from so many different sources. I don't want to go pro in this game. Like, What's the fucking point? Being a... My peak rank being top 74 or top 10, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, after reaching 23 times Radiant, I've proved myself 23 fucking times, like, in this game, like, you know? And that's a huge mental problem, like, when you're playing this game. It's probably really fun to... I mean, it is really fun to play duo queue with someone, but I don't have any good duo queue player that actually is consistent playing Valorant. Majority of the players that I started playing Valorant with, they left the game long time ago.
Careful off.
I don't know what is the plan in this round. Let me hear the plan. To be honest, like, yeah, another solution in this type of matches, like, when enemies are way too repetitive, is splitting the C set as well. I mean, this team composition really has nothing to fully stop your pushes and to fuck you up on the bomb sites. You know? Like, the whole match, Neon was the only guy playing Garage. Omen was playing C, alone. Like, doing a C split, proper C split, like, you know, doing a 3-2 or 1-4, should be piece of cake against these two idiots. Just do the smokes here, use a paranoia for close angles, and then move, like, that should also be a good play.
I can buy one.
Well, by getting rank 1, you can brag to the friends you don't have. Literally, you know, it's such a waste of time. That's my main mental problem that I have with this game. Like, if there was any prize for being top 10 or rank 1, brother, I would be playing this game 24/7, try-harding my ass off every fucking act. Counter-Strike players get like $5,000, $10,000 in the FPL and FPLC. I get gun fucking body. You know? Do you think it was weird that the Wukujin was mega tryhard and good knowledge, but was Hearthstone Ascendant Immortal 1? That's because his knowledge doesn't align with ranked solo queue. You cannot teach a player in ranked to play Valorant as he is playing in a VCT team. That's why I always said that I don't agree with around 20 to 40% of things that he is teaching in his coaching, because that's way too much complicated for, you know, these 60 IQ teammates. And also, it simply doesn't work in ranked solo queue. Like, if he changed his approach and the way that he played the game, maybe he could have gotten Radiant again. I don't know. After you get Radiant gun buddies for all the guns, you'll stop caring to go Radiant even once in an episode. There is a chance. If they change the gun buddies, I'm probably gonna try hard, you know, for them. I don't know I don't know what they're gonna do after number 10. But there is a huge fucking chance that after number 10, I'm gonna get a big fucking Roman X. You know, X1, X2. And if they do that shit, I'm done. Like, you know, I'm gonna get a big X and I'm just gonna be doing coaching, smurfing, I don't know, like, doing my series and that's it. Like, I don't know, literally. Why don't you search for a duo? I don't know. Just a moment. I have a coaching right now, bro. Like, I need to tell him I'm gonna be just a few minutes late. Group DMs have now. Kurt app. I'm coming in 20 minutes max. Okay. I don't know, I'm kind of sad because we could have killed that Omen at least one time with a strategy that I've showcased to, you know, at the start, previously. That's such an easy kill, man. Like, you know, people never expect you peeking from this angle. You know? Bop, 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 bop. It's just, it's a good play.
Garage. Flashing logs.
Listen. What type of smokes you do for the C site depends how many of your teammates are going through garage and mid. Like, basically, if you have only one teammate going through garage, we always use this smoke setup, and we don't give a shit about this guy. But if you have two teammates going through garage or more, you know, they're going through the this garden area of the map, we need to give them this smoke, and you're using paranoia based on where we see the enemies and where we, you know, where our teammates get the first contact. Like, sometimes I'm gonna use a paranoia to push the enemies back from the garage. Sometimes here, even here, like, you know, if enemies are in the choke point, depends where we see them on the minimap.
Yeah.
Okay, just a moment. On the attack, you need to focus on a better team play. Number one, you need to apply a completely different mentality. How you actually play on the attacker side of each map in Valorant. And what type of rules you should follow. Like, ranked team play is not the same as VCT. Rule third stuff. You need to start reading the enemies a bit more. We could have countered Omen and Neon in the garage and C site quite easily and fuck them up with our utility. Paranoia, smokes, outplays, stuff like that. Another thing. You need to lead your teammates a bit better on the macro level on the attacker side. In the first round, no lurking, no flanking. Cypher, come with us. I'm gonna suck your dick after the match if you do that. Enemies are eco halbay on defense. No, guys, don't go A short, don't go B, don't go mid. Let's do a 5-man push on C and A long. We noticed that C split is working. Guys, let's split C. Sova, go get... Try. At least try. And if they're not listening to you, then we need to adapt to them. You know, but you didn't try. And also, your general comms were not good enough, essentially. Like, I mean, you never gave any real strategy or real, like, real comm to your allies. Like, 50% of times your teammates are going to listen to you. 50% of times they're not going to listen to you. I just believe that in this match, your teammates would have listened to you. And we could have won this match if we led our teammates a bit better on a macro level. And on a micro level, like, I don't know, some rounds you played alone. Then in eco rounds, you buy a fucking sheriff with a light shield, trying to contest the enemies in a long-range fight. Are you dumb? I'm just kidding. Sorry, I'm not... I don't know why I'm this... I'm angry because I maybe have a stomach cancer from this game. But, you know, you're playing Omen. Buy the shorty, bucky, light shield, shrouded steps, smokes, like, fuck them, go into their face. Garage, B, free kills for you. Your teammates are bad at executing bomb sites. Aggressive Omen playstyle. You know, aggressive executes. We cannot rely on them anymore. You need to change how you play on attack fundamentally. And that is a huge problem for you. And I'm gonna share with you some very specific coaching videos, private coaching videos, that are gonna change your perspective for this 20% that you're missing. Now, to be honest, watching this overtime doesn't really matter that much. I mean, I already saw all of his problems, but we can just run it down a bit fast. You know, just see what he's gonna do. On defense, we still have a problem where we have 0 Sentinels utility on B side, 0 Sentinels utility in garage. Like, this is so stupid, man. But as far as I remember, like, they did abuse us on mid quite a lot during this match.
I smoke B, top B. Nice. Can someone pick up B?
I don't know what is that smoke, man. I mean, it's for the aggressive play of Omen, but that was so fast. Okay.
One mid stab, grass.
We have a smoke to... Now we need to smoke mid again. We need to disallow our jet to pick a fight. I don't know why you're holding this angle in a 50-50. Again, like on a defender side, you hold the angles way too much in a 50-50 way. You commit to the fights way too much, man. What is this shit, bro? Like here, like we have numbers advantage. Why would I hold a window like this, where I need to commit to the fight? Let's hold it like this, further away from the angle, a bit tighter. Enemies peek. We just do this. Paranoimus Rex. Bam. Kill the guy. We have 90-10, 70-30, and a 50-50 gunfights in Valorant. You're fighting way too many 50-50 fights. That cannot be your first fight.
One's mid. Up on a window.
Nice.
Come on.
Omen
Keep
TP.
it out.
It's like on
Keep
site.
it out. No. Keep it out.
Oh,
One garage.
I
Oh,
just
he's
left
holding
her.
it.
I don't know why you left the garage, to be honest. Like, this was really your mistake. I mean, Phoenix is locking down C. Your jet is on B. Cypher is rotating to support you. Like, you really had one job. Like, here, you really fucked up, to be honest.
Like
You done goof.
No. Keep it out.
Oh,
Instead of going back on C, like, what you should have done is just drop down here. And now, as soon as the Phoenix takes a fight there, you're able to refrag him and support him. And you can just hold this off angle to fuck up the enemies that are moving through
I
garage.
just left garage.
Now we don't play alone, we don't play alone. We don't need no map control. We don't fucking care about map control. Garage is open. Your jet is gonna die. Like, sell the map control. Play together. Thank God he is on A side.
Nice.
Okay, we're doing a 5-man push on C. But you need to go for an aggressive play yourself, man. Your teammates are not that good.
Slow.
This was a bit lucky, man. This was a bit lucky that actually enemies were not contesting this jet on the site.
We have side.
Garage one. Backside. Garage CC.
Get on the green box. Get on the green box. Green box. Gringo. Gringo, brother. Gringo, man. I don't know. Like, really, on CSAT, you just need to change how you play the postmans and how you fight with your teammates. Like, just get on this box, man. Like, and fight from, CT from this position. Like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Side. One. Yeah.
Okay, this is another way of holding the mid. Listen, when you're holding off angles, don't do these micro movements. You are not doing anything, essentially. Just lock yourself in. If you're already holding some kind of an off angle, hold it statically. On this position, we need to ADS to be fully precise. I mean, you're not gonna fight this type of a fight. You just go for one bullet or a burst fire and you drop down. Now, this does nothing, especially if your movement is such a micro movement. Like, to counter the enemy's peeker's advantage, you need to move for the whole silent step. Like, it needs to be much wider. And here, there's just no point. You're playing an off angle with a drop down position to quickly escape the fight. Like, just lock yourself in. Focus on the pixels, go into the monitor, take a fight, delete one guy, and pray to God that the first bullet accuracy is gonna work in your favor.
You want to see?
Yep, smoking.
Oof, Jesus Christ, I just poked my eyes out.
Bro. 70.
Spike down. C.
Always adapt your playstyle based on how many numbers there are on the map. Here, I would actually teleport back into the CT smoke and play with my jet.
Falling back.
But okay, enemies are running back.
Running back to you, Sova. Has a
Right now, we ended up in a 2v2 scenario here. Whenever enemies have a sage resolution, you know, chances are above 80% that they're gonna end up on the bomb site where their allies' bodies are laying around. So here, staying on the C set is the best idea ever. Just we need to play C a bit safer, you know, like right now, you know, what I would do with my jet, I would just take the full C-long control. And basically, I play here, cover that angle, jet plays here, and that's it. Because right now, jet is playing here, we're playing here, enemies can come from the A side, fuck us up. 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 Like, why? Eliminate some of these, you know, factors of luck.
You will not
Yep, here.
kill my ally. Last player standing.
Why did you start running?
You will not
Yep, here.
kill my ally.
And okay, after that kill, chill down a bit, man. You know, reframe game.
Can't come at A because they're fucking wall.
That was mega obvious that they're gonna push, like, you know, C set again. They're gonna reheat it. Like, players do that 80-90% of times in the ranks below Immortal 3. Even in Radiant, of course.
Smoking heaven.
Here, once again, why are you playing alone? Yes, I know that our 5-man executes were not the best. But maybe, if you actually try to do some kind of an aggressive execute, maybe you could have outplayed the enemies yourself. You know? You're acting way too much as a support on the attacker side. You need to take these rounds in your own control. Now, this is over. This is over, bro. Like, I mean... Jet is gonna die in 5 seconds. Then Phoenix immediately after the Jet.
I think it's still pretty short.
Jet dead.
Just cancel
Phoenix
my
in
gun.
2 seconds. Phoenix dead. We are 3 versus 3. But is this one kill actually worth it on B side? I would say no. Because on A side right now, Sova and Cypher have another opportunity to die. And by the way, like, whenever enemies reveal you during these lurks, flanks, and you know, when you're going for these solo plays, abort the mission. Mission abortimus. Immediately. Right now, he should have pulled himself back through the window towards the A long and just play with his team, you know, fight together with his team. He already applied the pressure onto the enemies.
Spike down.
But now enemies are gonna expect him, and you know, enemies can be here, 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 here. Like, it's impossible. Like, you need to have impeccable crosshair placement and luck to complete this lurk right now. And we don't have anything impeccable, and not a single angle cleared. Ooh, peeling the angles as well.
Fuck me.
City.
Last player standing.
We cannot play ranked like this, man. We just cannot play ranked like this. Okay, we discussed plenty of topics. Like, this is gonna be like a 4-hour VOD review on my second YouTube channel and on my main as well. I'm gonna watch this VOD one more time alone, and after I do it, I'm gonna share with you one very specific training and specific set of videos that is going to change your mindset in the right direction. Your problem is mainly your mindset, and you're not adapting your gameplay enough based on what type of enemies and teammates you have, and based on what are your teammates doing and what are your enemies doing. This match, you played only in one way. Omen is everything. Initiator, controller, duelist, sentinel. Entry fragger, support. But what Omen should be depends on what type of teammates and enemies you get. On attacker side, we needed to play a bit more aggro. Much more aggro. And to support our teammates in a different way, essentially. And on defense, we talk about the defense like for a very long period of time. Okay, other than that, thank you for watching this VOD review. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Join my Discord server for coaching, giveaways, and stuff like that. On Twitch, I'm doing streams every single business day from Monday to Friday. And I'm losing my physical and mental health on this game. Yeah. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.